Okay. Previously in the GodBreaking, our group of adventurers, having done their best to save the population of the city of Mistrala from certain death by the claws and the power of the dragon monarchs, found themselves on the wrong side of Praktinic, the storm dragon's attention. You guys proceeded to basically throw down with him, like fight with him. All of last session, you guys shifted to planes a couple times, in which he was able to follow you. You hid in Adis's pocket demiplane, and managed to stay there for about 24 hours, masked from his view, before he again found you. And finally, catching up with you, you guys fought him, and it was a grand fight. In fact, you guys were winning. You guys were almost beat him until he recharged his breath attack at the very end. In which case, you were not going to win. But fortunately for you, in the ethereal realm, while you were fighting, Euphemia had made her way to your location, and she channeled the divine power of one of your old companions, Kildrak, the dwarven rune scribe, who had taken upon himself and had inherited the mantle of Modron, the dwarven god of crafting, who had been killed a couple years prior. Kildrak, having heard the plight of Tandesh from Euphemia, agreed to return to this realm with her, in order to help you guys restore or keep the continent from completely being ravaged and destroyed. He's, more powerful than you've seen before, but he's not a god yet. But he's begun to walk the path of the gods, and through his blessing, you guys were able to survive the breath attack, the gale force winds that Praktinic unleashed on you, and then Kildrak himself jumped off of Light's shoulders, the silver dragon, and dealt the finishing blow, breaking Praktinic down to the ground. And we left off with you guys asking him a few questions, and then turning your attention to finding, or at least beginning to turn your attention to finding Robin, who it turns out is not very far from where you are. So right now, you guys are standing there, and near you is Kildrak and Euphemia. Okay, so it is, mid-evening. You guys are tired and worn down, having just been through a very, very harrowing fight. You've been talking with Kildrak and Euphemia for about half an hour. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I think I was gonna ask him where we get the intro pamphlet to start getting god powers. Because it would probably help against dragons.
You guys are also right here on the border of Tandesh, near the border of Tandesh, or Taswan. All right, so what, you're asking him how he became a god, or what are you saying?
Pretty much, how do you get started? Because it seems like his powers are pretty darn helpful in fighting stuff.
He looks at you, Deimos, and he says, "It's not something one chooses for himself. It's a destiny, rather, thrust upon certain individuals. Absent their control, their thought, or their own volition, even. As you were there, Modron chose me for himself."
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
He looks at it and he says, like, and I'm not even sure I know what the hell I'm doing. But I'm trying. Every day I try.
Okay. Well, we got more dragons, but I don't really know if we want them to die per se.
He says, um, he says, well, I'm here to help. There's a few things that I can do to aid your battle. He says, in fact, Euphemia has requested that I begin work on a new sword for her. So that's what I'll be doing next. There's a few rare elements that I have to gather to craft this particular weapon that she's requested. But I plan to lend my arm strength to whatever battles are approaching.
All right, Bro Serenos. What's her plan next?
I believe it is to go after Robin.
Oh yeah, let's get him. Let's get him good. Isn't he supposed to be like a village or two over, something like that?
Kildrak points over. So you guys are relatively near a town or a city. More like a walled keep kind of thing. Like a back in the feudal era of England. It's basically a castle, pretty large castle, and all around it is the serfdom that surrounded it. Elwyn flew over and he saw that it was shredded, like it had been it looked like it had been attacked by a dragon sometime prior, definitely, like at least a year or two prior. That's where you guys fought Practinic in the fields outside this castle. Kildrak pointed in a different direction, opposite the castle, and said that there's a small town. One of the small towns about 5 miles from here is where you'll find Robin. Hey, Renly.
Hi.
Glad
Keep
you
going,
make
no
it.
worries. Sorry about that.
Did you kill your party?
It was close. They just made it through. It was a lot like you go down, healing potion, you come back up, you go down.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Well, you guys are talking to Renly, or to Kildrak and Euphemia. Anything else you want to ask or say or do?
No.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, Kildrak, he takes his hammer, spins it around in his hand a couple times, and he looks at Euphemia and he says, "For the next little while, I'll be with her as we gather the materials for this new blade I'm crafting.
How do we call you?
You contact her."
Oh, but let's be honest, she probably won't answer. So how do we get a hold of you?
He says, "I'd advise you guys settle your differences. You've all been bickering at each other ever since I was traveling with you.
What?
Come on,
What are you
guys."
talking about? Huh? What?
Euphemia's just standing there, crossing her arms, just like glaring at you.
She's just mad that I was a sexier broad than she was.
She stares at you, she's like also the most stereotypical, misogynistic bastard in this side of the afterworld.
No. See, I was a lady, so I couldn't technically be a bastard. Look it up in the dictionary.
She flips her hair and she's like, whatever.
I flipped my hair where I used to have hair, but I don't have it there anymore because I ain't no chick. By the way, thanks for that book. It helped out. I did not know what was happening.
She says, "I've got my sending stone with me. Go ahead and call. If I feel like answering, I'll answer."
Alright, girl, cool. You do you. You do what you do.
Okay.
Deimos,
Yeah.
why
What's
is
up,
it that every girl we encounter or hear about that's encountered you is either dead or hates your guts?
I'm very confused. I don't know.
Do you like kill the ones that love
Probably
you
'cause
and spare
probably
the
'cause
ones that hate you?
Probably because they hating on me because I was the top bitch around here for a while. No one likes
Somehow I find that
the
hard to
popular
believe.
girl. Like I could bench seriously like 500 pounds. It was great.
She
Okay.
looks like she could crush you with the tip of her ear.
I don't know if that's actually possible. But I mean, I'm no physics major, but yeah, I mean, I'll take your word on it.
Probably a good idea.
Okay, ears equal crushing. Keeping that in mind.
I'm gonna start collecting ears now.
So in the future, Deimos, girls with pointy ears, you pay the utmost respect to. Okay.
I always pay respect.
Mm-hmm. Is that why they all Is that why they all end up dead or hating you?
Wait, name one other girl.
The dragon lady or the one dude's girlfriend, the dude with the guns, the girlfriend of his you killed.
I didn't kill it. That was Euphemia. Did I
Euphemia
AKA
just
That is
drag her
true.
head around after?
She looks at you. She says,
Maybe.
she needed to die, but I wasn't the one who wore her freaking head all over the world.
I didn't wear it. I drug it along. Thank you very
Uh-huh.
much. Technically a difference, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then there was that one kid we ran into back at the city who was pissed off at you about you and her mom.
Oh, Euphemia steps in. She's like, "Oh, that's right." And you stuck that dagger right into her heart.
What dagger? I have no idea what you're talking. I need physical evidence of this. These are false accusations.
And I'm just cold sweating, and I'm just walking away.
You need to talk to my lawyer. I'm pleading the 12th, and this is not possible. I mean, look at me. I've known,
This is like why Deimos doesn't use weapons ever. The one time he used a weapon, someone got sucked away to something.
And Euphemia says, "And you remember that zombie chick that you shacked up with that one night?"
Actually, I didn't shack up with her. I was sleeping. She was just banging my armor. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then we
And
all
then
got
didn't she
stabbed.
try to kill you afterwards?
I think she killed all of us. It was a terrible idea. Alright, so guys, rule 101. If you wake up in the middle of the night and there's some chick on top of you trying to bang your armor, it's a terrible, terrible idea. Okay, she crazy. But I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm a holy
Also,
man.
And
Ashok
then there
is
was
dead.
the goblin. And then there was that goblin chief who was pissed at you about his daughter.
What? What daughter? Goblin Chief. I
The
don't know
dude
what
who
that
gave
is.
the wand to.
Why would he be mad at me?
He was all pissed off at you, something about his daughter.
I didn't do nothing
Deimos.
to his daughter.
Euphemia says, "Deimos,
Huh?
did you do it with a goblin?"
Not that I
Woman?
remember. I don't think so. I mean, I've got this. I don't ever get drunk anymore. It's the weirdest thing ever since I put this, what would Jesus do ring on. I don't get sick anymore. It's kind of weird. Or drunk, it's the funkiest thing ever.
She turns to Killjack and she says, "You already know this, but I'm going to tell you again. Deimos is the worst. I don't even know why we're here helping him."
Wait, what are you talking about? I thought you were pretty cool. I'm super confused. I know of this.
She says,
It's
"It's
because
a
I was the
stupid."
part of the party.
She says, "It's a fucking shame that for some reason the gods have chosen him and and everyone else is okay, but freaking Deimos to help save this world."
What? I didn't even start nothing. Don't look at me.
All right.
I hope you have a great day. Please do not crush me with your ear tips.
The last
that
thing
was a
you
thing.
see as she's walking away is her extended middle finger right up at you.
I wave back at her with the middle finger. I just assume it's her cultural thing, 'cause I think she's just doing it 24/7. It's like a sign of respect. So I give it back to her. Big smile on my face.
Deimos, that is not showing respect to the pointy-haired women.
What? Are you
Here.
fucking serious? Dude, I've
Yeah.
been doing that for 5 years now.
That
shit.
that's basically the same as you saying "fuck you" to her.
Oh crap, that explains a lot. You serious?
Probably
Oh,
does
damn.
explain a lot.
I don't get these cultural things.
I know.
Until now, I was even the worst at any charisma thing. Now I'm
Well,
just
and
bad
when
at
you
it.
do it to an elf, it's like 10 times worse than when you do it to a human.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Well, they no one told me. I don't know.
That probably explains why
I don't
she
even work
was
here.
like.
I don't even.
that
You
prob-
have to talk to my manager.
That would probably explain why she was a hair's breadth away from turning you into a pile of ash.
Pile of ash.
Yeah, oh dude, she had some
Ash
pent up magic going on there, and man,
doesn't-
I felt like
but-
she was about to blast you into eternity.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
As
if
you
I
guys
get
are
blasted
talking,
into eternity,
Kildrak-
God.
Kildrak comes up to you, Renly and Albrecht. He says, "Before I depart, do you two need anything of me?"
Would you like some tea? It is so good to not be dying at the moment. And I'm hopeful that Mistrala is perfectly safe below wherever they are. And you can see part of the panic in my eyes, like still there, like, oh god, are they alive? Are they all dead? Who knows? Drink tea.
Mm-hmm. He says, and he looks at you, Renly, and he says, he shrugs his shoulders. He says, "We can't save everyone, even though we try." He looks at you, Albrecht.
As long as we try.
Albrecht, he says,
Yeah.
"And you, brother?"
No, I don't need anything. I got the information about level 3, so I'm good to go.
He nods his head. "You'll know how to reach us. Euphemia, let's go. We have a long way to travel." Euphemia nods, and Light swoops down, and the two of them climb up onto his back and begin to lift off into the air. All right.
All right.
What are you guys doing next?
Well, I guess we gotta hunt down Mr. Robin Hood.
Okay.
Got a picture of him?
Damos, it's time for your art skills.
All right. Pull up my crayons and my paper. All right, so he's got 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose. His mouth got kind of messed up. That's what he looks like.
So it's like a stick figure.
It's a total
except
stick figure, isn't
a
it?
kind of messed up mouth.
So, who is this dude exactly again? He's like some all-powerful god.
He
dude,
basically
or-
has a rune implanted in his body that lets him pass through any barrier, even the one at Mistrala.
Oh, since I didn't waste a lot of spells in that last fight, I could just bring him here if you so desire.
That probably would be simpler. Do
Okay.
such a thing.
What is his actual name?
Robin.
Do you know how
As
many
far
people
as we
on
know.
the planet probably have the name Robin?
I don't know. I don't know him by any other thing. He's just Robin. And unless someone else knows something I don't.
Nah, I just assumed it was Robin.
We're not big into last names around here.
Nope, just making sure it's his actual name. Alright, I'll cast Gate and name him.
You have to be on another plane.
Does it
Yeah.
have to be? I thought it was on the same plane.
No.
No.
Oh. Well, we could put up my mansion and then bring him to our mansion if you want.
That's up to you, buddy. That's because that's all your spell slots.
It's an option.
What are you guys doing?
I shrug.
So
Where's the
where's he
door?
at? Where do we think he's at compared to where we are now?
So you guys are... so
I just
you're
got
here
back.
on the map. Oh, go on. Hey, what's up, Ellen?
Kildrak told us that he was in a village a couple of miles away from us.
Oh, if he's just in a village, he shouldn't be too hard to find then.
Yeah, so that's that's Taswan. That circle is where you guys are. Just larger, closer to scale. If this is the keep, the castle area that was broken by the dragons that Elwyn flew over. You guys fought Praktinic somewhere around here, on the fields outside of it, like maybe a mile away, or we'll call it half a mile away. And Kildrak pointed in this direction, 5 miles that way.
Well, let's do that thing.
Alrighty. I will. Where is that spell? Can I cast it on more than one person? Only one. How many of us are there? 5?
There's the 5 of you and Quigley. Quigley's still here, right? Yeah, Quigley's still here.
Everybody can still fly. It lasts an hour.
All right, yeah.
Your fly is sweet.
Should we not bury Ashak?
I mean, Damus, have you attempted a resurrection spell?
No,
I
we
did.
ended it.
I did.
What?
The god guy that came said he was.
Yeah,
You
Aegis tried
you
it
failed
and then
it.
Kildrak said he's
That's
gone.
right. That's
I
right.
tried to res him as an angel and it didn't work.
Wait, what'd you use as a res?
Angel power.
Angel power.
But angels. I just don't know how much angels lift. I'm looking at like Merrills and Paytons and stuff. I'm like, obviously their resing power isn't the highest.
The angel I did could probably
He
lift
shapeshifts
you.
into a planetar. And
Oh.
then
I'll outlift a planetar. All right.
and then he tried to res him, but
resin
it didn't work.
works. Would I be able to? What would that res count as? Because
That was the res.
oh,
Yeah,
only get-
the god, your god friend with a hammer said he was beyond mortal help.
but whatever. My muscles are immortal.
I mean, if
Before
you
we
want to
go,
try
I'm gonna
it,
one res.
you try?
Will it work? No. I'm going for it. So I'll do a raised dead.
Alright, so this is a
whatever.
level 5 spell. Let's
Yep.
see. So a planetar. Let me see what planetars have here, just so we can look at it.
I think it was raised dead.
Yeah. Oh, the planetar did cast Raise Dead already. That's what the spell. The
Oh,
spell the
crap.
planetar casted. So that definitely won't work.
So I can't cast it at like level 7. Or
Would you
9?
like me to bring him back in a different form as I prepare to cast Reincarnate?
Do it. Bring him back as a grung.
Oh, can you bring
He
it
doesn't
back
get to
as
choose.
A name,
Well,
a
DM gets
fluffy
to choose.
animal?
Is there an extended table for all of the new races? Did someone have that?
I have it. Hold on. Actually, Farcrest made it for me.
Really?
It's in
Really?
it's in the link.
So it's not like just the basic, the PHP races. It's all of the other stuff as well, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, you can get reincarnated into like a frog, I think, too, can't you?
Pretty much anything would be my.
You have an
I
updated
think
list?
it's any human. No, I think it's a humanoid. Oh, I think Alex has a.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Hold on.
Yeah, let me
Um,
see this thing.
It has some fun stuff there.
Reincarnate. So
Oh,
this
here
is
it is.
basically a kind of resurrection.
Yes, it is a kind. It's the only one that druids can do, apart from I think True Rest, maybe. Yeah.
Don't you get that quick res?
I don't get resurrection. I don't get raised dead. I don't get revivify. I just get reincarnate and true res.
Oh, you don't get revivify? Oh wow. Oh holy crap, that is huge.
What the
Yes. What if
hell?
she casts that, and then I cast like mass heal on him, while also casting a 7th level raise dead? He could come back as like an alive orc version of himself or something. Or a cat.
I actually have it as a rollable table in my
Jeez.
server.
Jeez, that's crazy. Alright. Oh, cool. Renly. So every time you guys try to res him and fail, the DC goes up.
I have never done this before, but I am happy to try.
Okay, so this is a resurrection. Okay.
I'm-
We'll call it DC. Let's see. Last time it was DC 10 to resurrect him. This will be, so it's a raise dead spell. This is a level 5 spell also.
If I burn a
I
7th level
can burn an 8 for
on a
this.
res, can I help her with the DC?
No.
Okay. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams.
DC 14.
Alright.
Straight
and
D20.
just roll a d20? Okay, let's
Yep,
see if it
straight D20.
happens. Yes, no. I think I got this.
You,
No, I
you
don't
stand
got
over him and you begin to conjure the spell, and you focus your thought on the body of Ashok and trying to craft a new form, a new physical being for his soul to enter into. As your thought goes into that, the form begins to change, but you sense no drawing of the spirit. Ashok's spirit is not returning to this.
He doesn't seem
the body.
willing at the moment.
Not
Maybe
yet.
someone else should try and see if he will respond.
Well, now it's going to be like a DC 19, and we all know how Deimos is on his 20s.
Right? I got the most reses out of all of you bastards. All right.
Well, mainly because we don't really have as much of the cash, because I think I've used True Res twice now. I'm going to.
Do you want me to try again? Maybe he might listen again.
No, I
the
think
same
we're
spell
just
will not
burying
work. The same
Yeah,
spell
we
will
only
not
damn
work.
get
it.
one
Never
of
mind.
each.
Yeah, you get one of each kind of spell.
Oh, okay.
One
so-
shot with each kind of spell, and DC goes up every time you fail.
Alrighty.
I'm going to, just for like a true resurrection later. I'm going to I'm gonna take some of his hair. I'll take I don't know, fingernail, some dumb stuff, and then
Or you could just put him in the bag of colding.
will he fit?
Next to the
That'll hold his
chimichangas?
body.
Yeah, will he
That'll
fit?
freeze his body.
Good thinking. I like how you think. We're gonna do that. Okay.
Does he fit? Do we have to chop him up?
I mean, I'll
I'm
fold
sorry.
him. Yeah, we can fold him in there. It
You
would
fold him in
work.
it. You cram him
Yeah.
in. All right.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna take his bow because after we get him out and he'll be alive again, he'll want his bow or something like that.
And
Okay.
do you want to true polymorph him into a marble?
Can't true polymorph the dead.
I did.
I
true
figured
polymorph
object.
him.
Well, I don't know. That would depend. Midas, does a dead person count as an object?
It's a
Like the
person.
corpse?
It's a. Yeah, why not? Sure.
Can Deimos use him as a weapon while he's dead?
Can I?
I will true polymorph
+4
him.
for Ashok.
I will attempt to true polymorph his body into an 8-foot long, magnificent warhammer for Deimos.
What? I won't
It
use
has
that.
to
What do
fit
you-
in the
what do
frickin'
you-
bag of
Wait,
colding.
hold on, hold
Well,
on,
then we
hold
can't
on.
rest him. Let's not.
You don't. Hey, if I true polymorph him into an object, you don't need to put him in a bag of colding because he won't be a rotting corpse anymore.
Oh, perfect. Who wants to hold him?
So he's now a 10-foot long, or beautiful.
Remember, Deimos don't use weapons.
I'm super confused on this weapon. What do you do with it? Do you poke it with it?
You
I don't
smash people
understand.
that make you angry.
But no, it's my
No,
Use it to
Deimos-
help with walking.
You're the
Deimos
only
doesn't
one.
use
Deimos,
weapons.
Deimos, you're the only
Walk-ins.
one with the power to carry it.
What?
No one else on
I
the
don't-
planet is strong enough to wield this weapon.
It-
Not
I
even
look
the
at Alberic.
dragons.
Yeah, I'm like, look at this guy. Like,
Not
seriously.
even the dragons.
But look at this Albert guy.
Like I pick up Albrecht and show him Albrecht because I'm assuming we can just pick up each other because we're both just fucking ripped. I'm like,
Do you not see this ripped specimen right here? He literally is wider
Just
than he
it
is
depends
tall.
on my size, Deimos.
I'll pick him up regardless.
Trust
If I'm
me,
15
Deimos.
foot tall, I think you need to check.
Trust
No,
me,
I got
Deimos.
you.
You are the only
He's
one who
huge.
can wield this hammer.
Dude, bro. I mean, I know that you're probably used to tricking like 3-year-old children, but I don't even know if that would work on them. I mean, I'll carry it. But
I'm guessing
I'm-
we're applying as we have this discussion.
yeah. I mean, I'll stick
To
a
the
war
village.
hammer on my back.
There you go. See,
But I
you're
still have
wielding
like
it.
some.
No one else
some,
can pick it up but you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll see
See?
that story.
That's
Look
what I
at
was
it.
talking
Oh.
about. I didn't say you had to
Yep.
fight with it.
No. Yeah.
So I still got like some of his hair, a fingernail, and the bag of cooling, but I apparently got a warhammer now, and I'll strap the bow to the warhammer.
Okay. All right. I'm writing myself notes. So
Oh
remember
my
if you guys ever
God.
tried this. Okay, got it. So Deimos, you're carrying around a warhammer. So this is plucked out of Adis's imagination. So this is a fighting implement with an 8-foot long shaft.
That is very
In
impractical.
the from the mind of a wizard who's probably never wielded a melee weapon in his life.
Okay.
You're not exactly sure about the balance of it, the strength of it, the kind of material it's made out of, or anything.
Oh wait, I got a
But
plan.
Albrecht, you get the feeling that as you look at it, that if Kildrak were still here, he probably shit his pants at the craftsmanship.
In a good shit or a bad shit?
A bad shit.
Okay.
Like
so I'm gonna look at it, and it actually just looks like, I guess, a gigantic floppy dildo. So
No, it's not
I'm
floppy.
gonna-
It's an 8-foot
Oh,
long war hammer that you're carrying
okay.
around now. Now, granted, remember you're like 5.5 feet tall.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of take it, and I'll be like, "This is
How
a really
are you
great
carrying this
idea."
warhammer?
I'm gonna snap it in half. Okay, fold it up and stick it in the bag of cooling. Because now we got a double protection on it now. It just had a great plan, so it doesn't like age and stuff like that. But now I also true climb
that-
the hammer into a
When you
foldable
snap
hammer.
it in half, the spell fades
Does it
Okay,
really? Wait, why does it
Yeah.
fade?
because you destroyed the object.
It's not destroyed it. I folded it.
You said you snapped it in half, not
I'll,
folded
I'll
it.
bend it. I'll bend it.
He bends it.
Oh my god.
Stick that stuff in that bag of cooling, and then now it really won't. He really won't degrade. We got this.
When he
Okay.
puts it in there, I'll let the spell go.
Okay. All right, you let the spell go.
No point in making it permanent if they just don't put it in the bag.
All right. All right, what are you guys doing now?
I think we're just doing shit while we're on the way to this place.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I probably headed out about 15 minutes ago flying.
Oh yeah,
I
I figured
thought
we were just
we-
doing
I
it
thought
while
we
we
were
were.
We were
flying.
doing it while flying. We were totally multitasking.
Okay.
multitasking.
All right. It takes you a little while.
It's-
Not terribly long, but on the order of like
I'll
10
turn
minutes.
into a Kotol, so I can fly faster.
I'm gonna ask Quigley if he wants to fly.
Quigley looks at you again, and he's flown with you before, right? You had to talk him into it.
Yeah.
Right? He says, Quigley, love flying.
Cool, Quigley. I'm gonna give you some very beautiful butterfly wings.
He says, Quigley, butterfly.
Yes.
Quigley love butterflies.
We all know what that is.
He says,
Quigley, do you want to be a butterfly?
Quigley is a
Quigley love
butterfly.
butterflies. Butterflies so happy. Not like Quigley.
Well, now you can be a happy Quigley fly. Quigley fly.
All right.
But you
And,
gotta
um,
smile the whole way.
I'll spend a 5th level to give him some wings.
All right. You attach these massive butterfly wings to his back. And you know how butterflies, they don't fly like birds do. They like kind of like bounce up and down in the air. They're like pretty
Yeah.
right. That's how Quigley is fluttering across the terrain as you guys are flying too.
And I asked quickly, like, are you feeling done quickly? Would you like some nice music? You would need to keep your mind open and listen and accept the music though. As I do the comfort spell that requires singing songs. But I'm just gonna try to make him happy because it's been hard, man. It's been hard.
Okay. So let's see the spell. What are you doing?
That spell
I-
needs.
yeah.
That spell needs to be. The flying spell needs to be renamed to Red Bull.
You sing a pleasant song, and all allies within range will cease feeling non-magically caused pain, heat, cold, hunger, thirst, or exhaustion. The spell does not negate normal damage, but affected creatures have advantage on all saving throws against magical effects that cause pain. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool.
And so ultimately just a feel good thing.
Yeah. So Quigley is, I mean, you guys know Quigley. He's your friend, and you guys have been through a lot together, and for the first time though, you see a hint, just a small hint.
Shit, I'll be back.
of a smile come across his face, and his face is normally in that scowl, but just a hint of one as he's floating through the air on his butterfly wings. And your comfort spell kind of rests across him. You see just like a little bit of tension kind of come out of his shoulders, and just a bit of a serene look come across his face.
Oh.
More tears on my end.
Okay. You guys float across the terrain, and the miles go by. It's a good 10-15 minutes before you guys arrive at the village. And it's a small village. It's it's nearing like 6 p.m. now, so the sun is getting low in the sky. But you do see what would make for a few small campfires, or a few small fires within households throughout this village. And you figure the village, is a population of about 200 people, maybe like 150 people. So there's a couple dozen buildings, and that's about it. But what you do notice as soon as you get there is that, one, it smells like death and rot as you approach. The sound of flies buzzing in the air is one of the first things you hear. There are a few campfires, from where you are as you land. You can see 3 lighted within buildings. And you do see movement. You do see people around, but you can tell this is not a healthy town.
Hey, Damus, you got any more of those parapet things?
The what?
Just the thing that makes him immune to disease.
Oh, the periapt proof against poison? Or
Yeah,
what is it?
He's got like 5 different periapats.
Huh? Who?
You do, buddy.
Oh, I just like rings and stuff.
Yeah, I got some stuff for poisony thingies.
I was making a joke. It's fine.
Huh. You don't want to catch them HIVs.
I mean,
man,
I'm
sorry,
already a
Davis.
dwarf, so I already have advantage.
Advantage on getting some HIVs.
I will take some time to cast detect disease as a ritual before we walk in, just in case there's something.
Detect
What time of day
disease.
is it?
Yeah.
It's around 6 p.m., a little bit after. You automatically determine whether a creature, object, or area within range that you can see is diseased. If you make a successful DC 20 Wisdom medicine check, you can also determine the exact type of disease and its effects. Okay. As you look around the town, are you casting on a person or an area? What are you casting it on?
Yeah, I cast it when I see certain people wandering around, like if it's the market square, I will try to cast in that area and just see if there is something that's pervading the area or the people around.
Okay. You cast from where you cast it. You are able to target 4 people.
Alrighty.
And they are just kind of 2 of them are just sitting along the side of on the ground. One is struggling to push what looks like a cart loaded down with some stuff on it. And another person is a small child walking alongside him. You see that of the 4 people, 3 of them are sick.
Okay, I will try to do that medicine check to see if I can figure out what it is.
All right, roll it.
Nope. So
You are
close.
unable to determine the type or the nature of the disease.
Alrighty, but I do tell everybody that yes, there's something going around. Some of them are definitely sick.
Is one of the sick people the kid?
Was the kid sick or?
Yes.
I know.
I will cast Greater Restoration on the kid.
Okay.
I think I gotta double check, but I'm
Do you
pretty
have
sure.
You have
Yeah,
Greater
'cause
Restoration?
I'm a Kotal. Once a day, they can cast Greater Restoration.
That's right. You did shapeshift. You did polymorph.
Yeah. Nope, it doesn't. Never mind. It only removes charm, petrify, curses, cursed items, ability score damage, and max HP reduction. It doesn't remove disease, so never mind.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll give the kid a pamphlet, but I'll pull that pamphlet back because that pamphlet had a symbol on it. So I'll give him a different pamphlet, and it shows that Tempest it has lesser restorations. It costs 10 push-ups.
It's the little kid.
Yeah.
All
10
right.
push-ups, kid.
Oh, lesser restoration removes disease, but greater doesn't. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Alright,
Well-
I'll cast lesser restoration on all 3 of the people that was sick.
And you have lesser restoration?
3. It's one of the 3-a-day spells.
Which creature did you turn into?
It's spelled Couatl. It's the celestial little mini Japanese dragon or Chinese dragon.
Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So you go, you fly over. You're this. I mean,
Do
you
they
look
run
like
away
this.
screaming?
You look like this, and you are medium in size. Okay. You float over there. The little kid, who is a girl, looks up in the air and she says, "Daddy, Daddy, look, it's a monster." The man kind of turns and looks at you, and he lets loose a cry of kind of like surprise and anguish, and he fumbles inside his cart, and he pulls out like a wooden club, and he comes charging at you. He says, "Stay away from my daughter!"
Oh, the
I don't
poor,
move.
the poor kid.
What's wrong?
I'll let him do whatever he's gonna do.
All right, he's gonna attack you. This
Okay.
is no modifier. Misses. He swings at
Is he
you,
one of
and
the-
it.
is he one of the sick people?
No, he's not. It kind of just whiffs in the air. But he's there. He's saying, back, creature." Okay, so you go up. Are you making your way past him and going to the girl and to the two people that are on the ground?
I will cast. Hold on. I think I got a solution to this cray guy.
I mean, communication, you can totally talk.
I could, but he's freaked out. No, I can only talk telepathically, and that might freak him out even more.
No,
Hey, guy.
Koalas have all languages.
Don't hit this guy. He's
But they
cool.
speak telepathically, though.
Okay, guy.
Yeah, here's the sheet so you guys can see it.
Well, I'm just gonna tell this guy, like, don't attack him. He needs like some good stuff, and if he tries to attack, he's gonna have probably a bad time.
All right, you're telling him that?
Yeah.
You're telling him to just let it do its thing?
Yeah, brother. Let's do it. That we're holy.
And I point at Renly. I make like magic sparks come out of my fingers and nipples, and
Oh,
mean-
hell.
everyone else looks pretty cool.
I'm like,
We'll
he's
just-
a
we'll just-
celestial
hold on.
fancy thing.
They don't.
He says, "You are in league with the dragon. The dragons are the ones that
Oh,
tore
hell. I
apart."
I true polymorph into a diva. For the fuck's sake, would you shut up, dude?
You look like a dragon. I mean, a dragon with feathers. It's like...
No, I'm shapeshifting into a diva.
Deva, so, angel, celestial.
Yeah, because their healing touch removes disease.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And I just tell him to calm down. I just want to help your kid, who's sick.
Isn't Farsi like the language of...
Yeah, it's gonna be a long while for him.
Farsi is an Arabic language. Oh, jeez.
And this is going into the dude's mind because divas apparently they speak telepathically too.
Alright, so here's the divas. So all of a sudden the dragon turns into this in front of him. He's standing there with his club. He says, "By the gods!" And he drops his club on the ground. right? And he turns around and he holds his daughter, and he's he's just sitting there by his cart, just like shaking.
I just reach down.
Adis, your communication skills need some work.
You're
in your
discovering
head-
this now?
And in your head, you hear "Spend 200 years in hell and see how well you communicate with people." And I reach down and touch the kid and cast healing touch on her.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Healing touch. Target magically regains 20 hit points and is freed from any curse, disease, poison, blindness, or deafness. As you come closer to her, you see that you can see see her more clearly now, since you're closer. She's a young child. You figure around 7 or 8 years old. Skinny, small, very poor. Her clothing is tattered and ragged. She has small. Her hands are like crunched in, like bent over and like crunched in, almost like they're arthritic. And from her eyes, there's this thin stream from each eye, from the corners of each eye, of this yellowish, like almost pus-like fluid from each eye. You come over, and you're with divine light. You touch her, and she gasps as you purge the disease from her body. You just sear it away, like it burns away from within her. And she gasps, and she pauses for a bit. And you see her blink her eyes, and it's like she can see more clearly than she has in a while. And she opens her hands up, and the curled up, gnarled form that they were in before just begins to slowly unravel, and she stretches them out. You hear them pop a couple times because it's been at least weeks since she's been able to move them. And she stands up. She says, "Daddy, I feel better." And the man holding her looks up at you. He says, "By the gods, you're an angel, or some kind of dragon, muscular angel."
I whispered to Renly, they're gonna be disappointed when the spell wears off.
I mean, I'm looking towards Deimos and trying to see if he's offended that they are referring to the Deva as muscular.
Yeah. I'm trying to suck everything, so I look a lot weaker,
just
and I'm
look
hiding
around.
behind a bush.
I just look around for the other two that were sick.
Okay, they're on the ground behind you. They're also their symptoms are similar to what the girls were, except they're more their bodies are more racked, like in this tightened, balled up arthritic mess. Their legs are curled up underneath them, and their feet and their toes are kind of flexed underneath them as well. Their eyes are caked full of their faces are caked full of this pus-like yellow fluid that's been flowing from their eyes.
I use my at-will detect evil.
Okay.
Something seems off here.
You detect no evil.
Okay. I'll walk up and do them both at the same time.
Albric, as he's doing this, I will look towards Albric and say, I feel like we need to find Robin before the whole town converges on our muscular friend there.
And I do it very stoically.
Yeah, you reach out, and their bodies begin to unfurl, and they like gasps of relief as the pain begins to subside from their bodies, and one says, bless you, oh great topless angel."
He's got abs for days.
I look at Renly and I say, I agree. So as the daughter and the mother and whoever else is there are praising him, I'm going to walk up to the father and ask him what has happened in this town.
He looks up and he says, as a fly lands on his face, and he swats it away. He says, "There's we do not know. A year ago, the dragons came by and attacked our feudal lord's castle, And in the devastation, the earth shook, and something shifted under the ground, and since then, many people have been falling ill, and there's this. He looks around. He says, "This plague, this disease, has begun to afflict us. Now, it's been some months. Most of us have become likewise sickened. I myself have escaped the disease for a while, but my daughter, whom you just cured, whom your pectorally blessed friend has just cured, is she came ill a couple of weeks ago."
I nod at him and I say, well, we've got 2 people here who can help with that. More people in the town. In the meantime, do you know of someone here named Robin?
I will describe him loosely.
He looks at you guys. He looks at you, Albrecht. He looks at you, Renly. He looks at the angel. He looks at Deimos, and he says, "I do not know anyone by that name."
Oh, but by the description, and I do specify the whole like ripped lips thing.
Yeah, like
As
I
she
told the
gives
picture.
that description, I'm gonna shape change into a planetar.
Why don't you just true polymorph it to Robin, so he has an example of what he looks like?
No,
I think
because
it's
as a
know what he
because
looks
as a
like.
planetar, I'll know if he's lying.
Oh yeah, and you haven't met Robin yet,
They
so
have
never mind.
They have
How
divine
many times can you
awareness.
shape change? This is just I'm just.
I can
wondering.
shape change at will.
Oh, that's fucking badass.
Well, not at will. It's an action. Like
Oh, okay.
because of my boon, I can use true polymorph without using a spell.
Oh, shit, that's pretty fucking legit.
So this is a
Yeah,
planetar.
no, might as-
All of a sudden you grow in size. I think planetars are bigger.
Yeah, they're large.
Yeah, they're
size.
large. So all of a sudden you grow in size, and your hair drops off your head, and your skin turns green. And the man just kind of like shies away. He's like, "Oh, he's getting bigger," and you're still topless. And
Do the muscles
No
get a little,
wardrobe.
do the muscles get a little bit more ripply?
Yeah, they're getting a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit more ripply because the plantar is much more powerful than a diva. And the girl burrows her head in her dad's robes, and he says, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, he's getting uglier."
Ah, bird!
Little muscles, girl.
How could I be? I have a 25 charisma. How could she think I was
You look
ugly?
intimidating. It's not an attractive look, though.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of politicians have 25 charisma, but
That's true.
then they look
that's
like
true.
Bernie
Yes.
Sanders. You're just like, ooh, yeah.
Point
That's
I
true.
would
proven.
get
That's true. Point made.
He's li-
Just
he's-
yeah, I'm gonna
it is.
say
He's lying.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he look like anything other than what they're seeing?
He looks like a very poor, slightly undernourished village man, pushing a cart full of dried up old wood that he'd gathered from the surrounding fields and forests.
I will
telepathically tell everybody he's lying, but not to push it.
Okay, I will look towards him and just say, "We need Robin to stop the dragons. He has a unique gift, and we need his help. If you can do so, your
Says,
village
"Will
will
harm-
very well be saved."
Will harm come to me and my family?
No, in fact, we might
if you
be
do
able
not
to
find-
hear all of you.
I ask him if, or
Will
I
harm
will come-
come? Do you plan to harm this Robin person?"
Oh, we're totally cool with him.
No, we need his help. We would
For
not
real,
harm him.
I think he's hilarious.
hey, sir.
he would definitely come back alive.
Would you indulge me, sir?
He looks up at you. He nods
And
his
I
head.
and I shift back into my own form. I'm going to give you the ability to see through lies. Do not resist, and I'm going to true polymorph him into a planetar.
Okay. All right, so he begins to shift, and the girl is like freaking out on the ground right now because she says, as you shift down into form, he says she screams, "Ah!" And as you touch her dad, and he becomes the big green thing. She starts losing it. She turns around. She starts running.
Sir, you can now see through any lie. Now ask us your question again.
Planetars. Oh, they speak all
They-
languages.
Yep.
Um,
Their divine awareness is amazing.
he hears. Yeah, he knows if he hears a lie. He also looks down at his hand and he's holding a really big sword.
I know, right? I'm just like, you just created a weapon. Okay, great.
He
I
puts
can
he
end
he,
it in an
he
instant.
raises the sword, puts it up to your throat, and you hear in this celestial voice that resonates through the earth and the air around you. Do you plan harm for Robin?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
We
No.
need his help.
I mean, I never had beef with him from the beginning.
Then he says to you, and you see him begin to start trying to fight against the true polymorph.
I'll let it go.
He shifts back down to his form, and he shouts out, Ashley! Ashley, return! Come back! But she's already gone around the corner.
Is it dangerous here? Do we need to get her back?
He looks a little worried. He says, like, I don't know where she will run to. And the girl has only just recently been sick. Says her mother worries about her, so if you return my daughter to me, I will tell you of Robin.
I immediately go after her.
Okay. You rush off in the direction. Being a barbarian, you have 45-foot movement speed. She's probably got like 10-foot or 15-foot movement speed. You come lumbering after her, and it's not long before you catch up. She had gone down an alleyway, and she was hiding around a corner behind some old, like pots and basically a pile of garbage.
As soon as I see her, I'm going to get down on my knee and try to speak sweetly to her and tell her her father's very worried about her and he wants her to come back, and I can take her to him as I try to be as gentle of a dwarf giant as I can be.
She looks. Are you still enlarged? No, you're not enlarged, are you?
I'm definitely not enlarged, but
Okay.
I'm still a big beefy dude, so I'm trying to be a gentle giant.
She looks up at you. She says,
Nope.
Jesus!
Are you a good dwarf?"
I'm a very good dwarf. I would never hurt you or your family or let any harm come to them. Nope.
She says, "Okay." And she stands up. And she puts her arms up for you to pick her up.
Oh.
I do so, and then I come walking around the corner with her in my arms, and I hand her to my father, and as I do so, I say, I'm sorry about my friend. He is still getting used to this world. To both of them, I say that.
The man says, it's good to know. The things that you have done just even before our eyes are incredible. He says, but this is a world of impossible things. He looks up to you guys. He says, Robin is a friend of this town. He did so much to help us, even when our own lord worked us, robbed us, and basically put us into slavery for his own whims. Robin was the only one who had come by and give us some enjoyment, some the things we need. He would leave gold inside our doors, our front doors, even though doors were locked. We'd wake in the morning and we'd find at the foot of the foot of our door a bag of gold and precious things. That was how we got by. He says, but there, he says, you see him begin to go sad. He was one of the first to become ill. And back when he was able to speak, he warned us that there would be those who were after him, who wanted him dead, and we swore we would protect him.
Well, is he still alive? Because we help him.
He is, last I saw. He's
You bring
come.
us to him?
I will. So he holds his daughter's hand and he says, "Come, Ashley, let us show them where Robin is." And they begin to lead you down the street, the main street. There's only one street. You turn and there's past a row of houses and buildings, and you come to a small shack-like thing. And the old lady comes out the door and says, Theo, what are you doing? Who are you leading? Why are you leading these strangers here?" She looks at you very suspiciously. And he says, Marjorie, settle. These people say they come to aid Robin. And you believe them, you dumb dolt of an idiot?
No, but for real though, we got an angel man here. We got a
He was no longer an
fire
angel.
god of the sky. We got
Mark
the
turned
buffest
back
dwarf.
into one.
We got I don't know if she's high 100% of the time, but she's super nice. This little gnome here, and I think I'm a cleric. I think.
She says,
Where did
you
I
mean,
say-
you beat it. You get out of here. There's no Robin here.
No, but we just killed one of the dragon lords, and we just needed Robin. He's a good buddy of ours. Trust me, he likes all of us.
Which would be exactly what someone would say if they were trying to find him and kill him.
Oh, nice. I mean, no.
Miss, does this little girl look the same she did last time you saw her?
Why she... He looks at it and says, Ashley, dear, you are no longer weeping. What has happened? And Ashley points at you. Adis. He says, that weird man. he grew very big and took off his shirt. And then he touched me. And the lady says, "What?" And she grabs her walking cane and she smacks you across the head, Adis.
I love her.
It was not a bad touch. It was an.
3 points of damage. She cracks you across the head.
She's not being superficial with the king.
You know, guys, my celestialness is really running on low. I only got one form left for healing people, so if we're gonna get this done, we need to get it done.
So Marjorie she starts beating you with her stick. She's like smacking at you with her stick. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna true polymorph into the big one, the Planetar, and ask her kindly to stop.
Okay, you shift form and she kind of like falls backwards. She like lands on her butt and she like ow. Theo goes over to her and says, Marjorie, I believe them. They do not mean to harm Robin, and they claim to be his friends.
So the real
She
question is, in this small little town, is you going to be able to fit through the door as a Planetar?
No, I'm not.
No.
The only form I have left to be able to heal people with, unless one of you can remove a disease, is a unicorn.
Why didn't
Well,
you start
no.
with that? That is so much friendlier.
Nah, I could use the Kotal. I didn't use the Kotal's ability, so I could use its lesser restorations.
Have you seen kids with unicorns? I mean, seriously.
Again, we need to work on his social skills, but
Just spent the last 200 years in hell, so no, never seen a kid with a unicorn.
can he fit through the doorway, or do we need to?
No, he can't fit.
I'll
He's large.
I'll-
He's like
I'm going to go inside and pick Robin up and bring him out very gently.
I'll shift into a Kotal. My Planetar's out of healing, unless it resets if I re-transform. I assume it does.
No, probably not. Like
So, yeah,
it's
Oh,
a
well-
daily thing. You're bound
okay.
to the day things.
That's what I figured. So when he brings him out, I'll use the Kotal's lesser restoration to remove the disease.
Okay, so
Or
Albrecht,
dry.
you go inside. You go inside and you find a small, dingy kind of room that's kept at least tidy. There's a small bowl of very thin stew on the table, and off in the side room is a bed which also smells like death, and in there, crunched up, like almost fetal position, balled up, you see a person lying on a cot, a wooden like stick and straw cot. He's wrapped up in a blanket. There is a cloth that goes across his face, from the nose down, and he's just there, balled up, obviously in a great deal of pain. Obviously, you see him shaking a little bit and making these weird moaning sounds, but he's very weak, very frail.
I'll pick him up as gently as I can,
You hear it
and
in your head. You want me to come in to do it?
if you can fit, because I'm
I'm
under
a
the
medium.
presumption you're still the Planetar.
No, I changed into a Kotal.
Oh, as a character I know, but as a player I know, but my character is still under the impression you're a Planetar.
No,
Come
I
out.
did
No.
it before you went in, because remember I can't heal with the Planetar anymore. I just did that to get her to stop beating me with her damn stick.
I'll still bring them out so that way they
Okay.
can see and know for sure.
Okay.
But I am very, very ginger and very, very careful.
Okay. As you pick him up, being as gentle as you can, again you can see like large patches of skin just beginning to fall off his body. His body is all withered, and like I said, his joints are all gnarled and crunched up. His body is frail. It smells terrible, and you can tell that the source of the smell is this pus that's been like caked up across his face, and that's been pouring out of his eyes. There's the buzzing of a few flies, but just like buzzing around in the room, and you pick him up, and he convulses in like pain as parts of his limbs and stuff flex. You hear a small groan of pain as you lift him. You carry him outside, holding what would be a full-grown man in your arms, but all contorted up and balled up.
I think it might take a little bit more than a lesser.
It might. But first I'm going to cast Identify on him.
Identify.
It will tell me if he's being affected by any magic whatsoever. Generally speaking, of course.
It's a 1-minute cast. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. Okay. As you touch him and cast Identify, you take some time. Right now, a small group of villagers has gathered around you guys. You're a very odd-looking group. And as you touch him and you cast the spell, the you do note a strong sense of what are those? I forget the different kinds of spell types. Schools of
Necromancy,
spells.
what do you call it? Transmutation, conjuration, abjuration, evocation,
Evocation,
enchantment.
enchantment, yeah. I think that's it. Besides like new stuff.
Yeah, you because it doesn't let you sort by that. But yeah, that sounds about right.
I got them here. Conjuration, abjuration, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, transmutation. Okay, this would be heavy transmutation. Coming, but it's like focused. It's focused on his side, the side that's underneath him. So like if he's in a fetal position and Kildrak is carrying him curled up in the fetal position, his left side, which is pointed towards the ground right now, there's like a strong focused point of like glowing, vibrant conjuration or transmutation magic just beaming out from him all over. Other than that, you don't see any other magic around him.
Okay, I need to see his left side.
I while he's doing his identify, I'm doing anesthesia to kind of the spell as ritual to kind of just, make sure that he's not in pain while we're trying to, doing this.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to put him at ease, and as you do that, his body relaxes a little bit. His limbs and his hands and his joints are still flexed and tight, but his muscles and his mind just kind of relaxes. Albert,
I'll try to.
Okay, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say I'll try to move him in a way so Adis can see what he wants to see.
Okay. Are you putting him down, or are you just flipping him over?
Gently flipping him.
Okay. You turn him over, and you reveal his left side to him as you guys pull back the clothing, what was formerly green-colored clothing. You do see that his withered and flaking, cracked skin, there is that embedded within him, not even embedded, part of him, fused into his muscle, his flesh, his ribs, and his organs is an object, a grayish stone.
That's not the stone y'all were talking about that he said that makes him walk through shit.
Yeah, it was infused into his skin.
In that spot, and it was gray.
I don't remember the particulars. Midas will have to remind me, but I
think
believe
it
so.
Was.
And it
that was
extruded a plague.
Well,
No, I don't think he said that was the source of the thing. I just said he just think it's magical.
No, I'm asking y'all.
No.
No, I don't remember extruding a plague, but
Pretty sure the
Midas,
plague
did the identify say this was excruciating plague?
No, my character is making that supposition.
No.
No, this does not. This is not the source of the plague. This is the source of him being able to move through walls.
All right. So how
And
hard
we're
do you think I have to-
100% sure of this.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
hard do you think I have to punch him to heal him?
Alright, I will cast. This dude's way more fucked up than the others. Did I get any sense from the identify that his affliction was caused by magic?
No.
Okay, then I'll cast. We'll try the big guns first. I'll cast Greater Restoration on it.
Okay. He's still unconscious. But as you do that, you see him begin to stir a little bit. It just begins to move slightly, and you hear him begin to mumble a little bit, but that's all that you see.
Just smack him in the face and tell him to wake up. A mass heal.
Did he heal at all? From the lesser, did the
His-
lesser restoration not do anything?
Did you cast Lesser now?
No, I mean, did the greater not do anything? Sorry.
Nothing visible.
Alright, I'll try a lesser restoration.
Okay. So as the two of you, Deimos, as you heal him to start repairing parts of his body, his physical form, Adis, your lesser restoration courses through him and tries to purge the disease from his body.
Also, I don't know if
takes
it
a
matters or not. Oh, sorry.
Go on.
I was just saying. I think it was 700 hit points, but also heals diseases, and especially blind and deaf and stuff too.
Do you
Okay.
split it up among the people around you so that like they also get cured of disease?
Well, Damus didn't think about that. He just hit straight into this guy.
Awesome.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
Isn't
you
it an
guys
AoE
course
heal?
massive amounts of divine and healing energy through his body, and you see him begin to move as his lungs inflate fully for the first time in many months. His back straightens a little bit, and his eyes begin to flutter.
Is his mouth still like covered with like the handkerchief or whatever, or
Yes.
the mask? Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to
All
cast
you guys can see his eyes.
regenerate. I'm going to cast regenerate because I'm very worried that he still doesn't have lips, and he might think
Oh,
that
shit,
it
I
might be
remember
a
that.
grudge that he holds. So I burn a 7th level at cast regenerate.
I
Regenerate.
completely
like this.
forgot about that.
You touch a creature and stimulate its natural healing ability. The target regains X amount of hit points for the duration of the spell. It can also regrow parts of his body. Okay.
I
Shit,
completely forgot
did I not mute my thing when I was doing my thing?
No, we
We
didn't
didn't hear
I
anything.
didn't hear anything.
We didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm right.
We definitely didn't hear you speaking in Farsi.
But we just remembered about you burning, or was it? No, it was
It was
Feldorn
Feldorn.
burning his lips off.
No. He glued his
Super
lips shut with
glued and
sovereign
then
glue.
ripped them open.
Sovereign glue, yeah. And then he used his fire sword to cut it back open.
Yeah,
Yes.
that wasn't me.
Yeah, Euphemia
I
and,
said Feldorn.
And Feldorn tend to have the most, I guess, direct approaches.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe from both Adis and Feldorn.
I'm
The,
gonna look around as he's healing. Does anything look out of the ordinary? The Cotil has true sight 120 feet.
So his back straightens up, his hands begin to unfurl, his arms like straighten and his legs relax, and you see his eyes flutter and his lungs fill with air, and he begins to blink open. Now he's still filthy, he still stinks, his face is caked over, but he opens his eyes. And, you can tell that vision has been restored to his eyes for the first time in months. And he looks around. And in a mumbling, kind of garbled voice, let's see, who's there? Deimos and... It was Deimos, right? Deimos, you're over him and Adis.
Yeah.
And he looks at you, Deimos, he goes, "You son of a bitch."
Whoa. Don't. Deimos always getting blamed for stuff. I'm your friend, buddy.
He says, "Where is that?" He says, "Have you come to kill me?"
No, we're here to save you.
No, we're here to save you.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, I think technically he's having a really bad stomach ache, like a real bad stomach ache.
He says, he begins to look around. He says, "Where's that bastard? The one who fucking who?" He's looking around. You can tell he's looking around for somebody who's not there.
Oh shit.
I do want to mention I would have totally removed the mask to check if his lips are back after doing regenerate.
Okay.
Yeah, does the regenerate work on his lips?
As
That's
you
what I'm
pull-
hoping.
As you pull the mask down, you can tell that if they were able to, his lips would have regenerated, but it is a mangled, like all kind of gnarly, like crumpled mess where his mouth is. And what you can tell is that there's sovereign glue just infused through his lips and his like his skin of his face. And his body has done its best to heal around it, but the glue is still embedded basically right there.
So he needs to go into surgery and plastic surgery at that. Okay.
Is the glue magical?
Oh, very.
It's
Super.
absolutely it's sovereign glue.
Oh, very.
Well, why not just dispel the glue?
I think
It has
there's
to
only,
be done by wish.
Yeah,
The only
wish,
thing.
or like there's like
Gotcha.
another like
Universal solvent.
yeah, that's one.
Which I don't think is actually that hard to find.
Yeah,
you
the
wanna
sovereign
pour
glue.
acid. You want to pour acid on your face, yo?
That won't get rid of the glue though.
Like he
So-
needs to go into surgery to cut off all that glue.
So when Felderin glued his mouth shut, right? The glue is absolute. It's sovereign glue, right? And when he tried to cut his face back open, his mouth back open with a sword, he basically cut everything except the glue because you can't cut the glue. So it really screwed his face up, and you know it's healed over. He says, "You think I haven't tried to heal this?" He points at his face. He says, "It's." He can talk, but it's this mumbly, garbly mess. He says, "Where is he? Has he come back to finish the job he started?"
He's not here.
Who are you talking about?
Seriously, guys, did I waste all this celestial power to save another person you all pissed off?
Are you catching a theme here?
Why am I the one that keeps saving all of the people you pissed off?
No.
I feel a lot of judgment coming.
Yeah,
I
that
know,
sounds like
right?
the direction. I mean, don't get me wrong, but like you should probably get that checked. Like it seems like a lot of negativity inside your head.
I say Feldorn is not here. He is not feeling well, and he needs some.
He looks at you
Oh,
all and he
wait.
says, "Oh, go on. What are you saying?"
Deimos, I turn to Deimos and I go, Deimos, your lady love, the one who you, is it Durmboint? I don't remember.
Right. I
But
don't have a name.
Vestrine, are the one who gave me my teapot, yes.
Oh.
And I pull out the teapot. Did you leave a sending stone with her?
Caliota?
Oh, Kellyota.
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk to Kellyota.
Because I would love to ask if she has an oil of etherealness, which is not as hard to find as universal solvent or a wish spell, usually. And they're not as expensive.
Oh, that's weird. It can be broken by oil of etherealness.
Yes, I'm
ra-
just reading this and I'm like, God damn it, I forgot.
How random is that?
I mean, it kind of makes sense because I think it bonds to
Oh.
like that physical, whatever it is.
I get why that works because it pulls your body into the ethereal, but not the glue.
Mm-hmm. It breaks the bond as such.
Yeah, that would be my
Okay.
guess as to how that works.
So I
pretty wild.
definitely, I would try to win speak to Caliota and just be like, hey, could you get to the prince if like she doesn't have a sending stone? Like, can you get to the prince? Or I will message the king and just be like, can you check with Caliota and just see if she has oil of etherealness?
Yeah, and I'll tell Robin that we have a cure for his lips, and we can help him get back to his full beauty if he stops trying to kill us and helps us out.
He stands up. And
Just for the record, if he tries to kill you all, I am not helping you.
And you say this
Fair
out loud,
enough.
which is excellent.
you can tell he stands up for the first time in a long time on his own 2 feet. You know, his arms and his legs have atrophied. The muscles have kind of like will need to be exercised again, and you know his body will need to recover. But he stands up and he looks at you, and you can hear him say, "I can live with this horrible disfigurement, but look at this village. Look at those dying." He says, "Help them."
Where did this come from?
He shakes his
Yeah,
head.
we can do that too.
He says, "I don't know, but if you want to prove to me that you're not out to harm. Yes. Help these villagers. Cure
Hey,
this plague.
Deimos. Is that mass heal?
Say what? You broke up a little.
We should get them out of the city before we mass heal them. Healing them and leaving them here is not going to do anything.
Well, this is their home. They're not going to leave their home. We
Yeah.
can at least temporarily cure them and then find out what the source of this disease.
So
And then
let's
work on
put
that.
them somewhere safe. They don't have to leave the village. I can give them shelter for a day. You can heal them there. They can rest their weary bones in bathhouses and saunas and eat to their heart's content after you heal them. And while they're safe there, we can go deal with this.
How many can you fit in your mansion?
The Magnificent Mansion is... it creates 50 cubes that are 10 foot by 10 foot
100 people.
by 10 foot. Yeah, 100 people. Yeah, so 100 people.
Okay, so the
And
village
there's
is,
100
it's closer to 200.
They can take turns.
Yeah. Either way, I will tell Robin we can definitely heal them, and we will do our best to find the source so that doesn't come back. And we can also, even though you don't necessarily want it, I do feel kind of bad about your face, so we'll help you with that.
Standing up again for the first time, Albric. He looks at you. And were you Albric back when this happened? Or were you? Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah, because this was after Vortum.
This is our first time in Mistrala.
Yeah. So this is Robin.
I
He looks
believe
at
I
you.
was. I believe I was. Yeah, Albert.
Yeah, you're Albric. He says, "All right, Albric." He says, "You do what you guys are going to do."
Deimos, what level is that mass heal?
You said there's 200 people?
Just under, like in the 185 range.
I can create 2 Magnificent Mansions.
Okay.
Unless you object. It doesn't. I read through it and it doesn't say it goes away if I cast it again, and it's not concentration. So
That's fine.
I'll create a couple of Magnificent Mansions for them. It'll take a little bit.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? How are you guys working it?
Well, I'm thinking, all these, at most, these guys are commoners, so at most, they have, like, less than 10 hit points, so Deimos' mass heal, what's that, like 700 hit points? He can get...
I used that.
Yeah, that's 9th level.
Well,
so
to
it's
get
Oh, that's
the
9th level.
technically
Um,
speaking, to get the effect of the cure itself, he only needs to heal them 1 hit point.
That too. So we can wait 24 hours, and tell them to wait 24 hours, and then we'll heal them. All of them.
What
Well,
I
yeah,
think
and
that would
24
work.
in 24 hours, if he can't heal them all, I'll be able to heal more people as well.
Yeah, that too. So I think we just have to tell them, we can heal the village, but we do need rest from our long journey of the day.
Do we think
Okay.
that my shield would do something with that, or is that only healing?
That's actually a very good question.
Robin, it looks like you are well welcomed across this village, and they treat you as friend. And
He nods
perhaps
at you, Renly.
savior. Would you mind knocking on the doors for me? I will stand by the door and see if I can find some healing mist inside. And I will give an example and turn
Well,
into the
if
branch
you-
of Yggdrasil.
Oh,
Um,
hold on. If you want to wait a sec, you can just do that into the mansion once the people are in it.
No, that's the thing, because I'm not sure how long it'll take for the people at Thritic and etc. to like make their way over to the mansion. So
Oh,
for the
gotcha.
people who are very much disabled and bedridden
Oh, I
like
gotcha.
him,
Yeah.
Rene's just gonna start flying over and start going door to door and transform into the branch.
And if you need any more help, I have 2 lesser restorations left.
Awesome.
Well,
Okay.
technically, I can heal 5 more people today.
So you're
That is
pretty
that's a good question about Deimos' shield, though. Does that affect? Will that affect disease, or is it just hit points?
just hit points for the shield. I mean, if he wants to try to get his 9th level spell slot back, he can try to roll it on his shield.
I'd rather save the shield for in case something goes to shit today.
Yeah, I call in case Midas shows up, we might as well save it.
Exactly.
It's a rule of thumb.
Did you not know that was the final boss? Midas is just going to put himself into the game.
I would be terrified. You saw those
Robin
gun
takes
skills?
Robin takes he says, "Well, come with me, Renly." And
I nod.
he leads you to the center of the town, and that's where you and he talks. You see him talking to some people along the way, and they go rushing off. You can tell that he is well regarded in this town.
Okay.
And you kind of become you turn into this large tree life form, and you let your healing mists just begin to it's not a very large town, but you let it begin to flow through the town, and the overhanging cloud of death and the smell and begins to be overcome by the sweet aroma that the tree puts off as your healing mists begin to spread throughout the town. And everywhere you look, like, the people are not cured, but you can tell that it is having significant effect in soothing them, in healing other. They're not cured of the disease, but they're cured of a lot of the ailments of the symptoms of the
That's
disease.
what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And people begin to gather as the runners that Robin sends off, or the people that Robin sends off, are pounding on doors and telling people to come to the center of town. It takes a little while, but over the course of the next 20 minutes, people begin to come out from their homes. You see some being carried by stronger family members, some walking on their own, leaning on a neighbor's shoulder as people are beginning to hobble over. All the sick, likewise afflicted by this disease, their face like crusted over with yellow pus that's been pouring from their eyes. Their bodies arthritic, their joints like locked up and seized, their skin beginning to turn gray. The symptoms are pretty well uniform across all of them, in various stages though you can tell that as you look at them, the more it progresses, their bodies curl up even more into like very firm knots as they go into fetal position, and their minds begin to drift. There's a mania that comes over it, in the most advanced forms of the disease. Okay, but over the course of the next 20 minutes, you standing in the middle of town, Renly, have gathered all the denizens, all the inhabitants of this town around your tree, as your healing mists just kind of like flow all around them and through them.
That is perfect. Awesome. I will kind of nod towards Edith and say elementally, like, if you want to do your spell, and then I will nod my tree head.
Okay. Edith went out of town, but went AFK. All right, what are the rest of you guys doing?
As this is happening, I'm just making sure. Was it a combination of both Adis and Amos that healed Robin back to full, or was it was it one or the other? So I'm like trying to figure out, when we try to heal the whole town, how much firepower we actually need.
Curing a disease cures them. Healing their bodies afterwards helps them recover. So doing both to Robin purged the disease from his body and also brought back a lot of the physical vitality that had been lost because his body was just lying there.
I missed. What's the disease look like?
So
what are the symptoms?
their eyes begins. It's called the weeping scurvy, is what the villagers call it. The first symptom and the predominant symptom is that their eyes, from the corners of their eyes, begin to the stream of yellow pus begins to flow from their eyes. It begins to just seep out from their eyes. And this pus just begins. It grows as the disease progresses. More and more of this stuff comes out, and it stinks. It's like nasty stuff, and just dries up on their faces, and it smells like death and rot. The next symptom is that their joints begin to constrict. They become arthritic, very painful. So their hands gnarl up and clench. Their arms kind of bend in onto themselves, and their shoulders kind of like scrunch in. And the most advanced form of that, the body is completely locked up in a little ball, with the joints becoming very rigid and very, very painful. It's excruciating. Their skin and their flesh begins to grow like grayish and ashy, and begins to crack and dry out. And the final stage before death is that they fall into kind of madness.
Okay. And Robin's healed now, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask him if he has any information of who was patient 0 or who was the first infected. Did it come from area? Is it confined just to this location,
It
or
was your friend.
you know what I mean?
Does
was
it
your
come from
friend.
under the ground?
It was your friend. He already told us he was the first to get sick.
Robin was
Where
one of
did
the
he get
first.
sick?
Was early, and he was in this town. He tells you that shortly after the dragon attack of the castle Note, Nata is what it's called. They which is nearby, which was the governing castle over this whole region. That people just started succumbing, and Robin was one of the early ones to get sick. So since then, he's not quite sure. He has no healing magics himself, and he's been mostly out of the picture for the past several months. So he doesn't know much
So
more
it's
than
been
that.
months. It's been months
Yes.
then.
Has anybody died recently from it? Like today, yesterday?
He looks around and people nod. There are a number of dead. Not Robin was, he was one of the earliest to grow sick, but he lasted the longest. Sometimes people die relatively quickly. So they do point you at a couple of dead bodies.
I'm gonna go
That had been-
over to
Yeah, they're on the outskirts of town. They drag them out, half mile away. They say that there's a burial field over there, about a half mile away.
I'm gonna go check it out.
So you start flying over in that direction.
Mhm.
The whole town is gathered around Renly right now. She's in tree form, and she's blanketing them in her healing mist.
I take it this mist doesn't actually cure diseases, though.
No, it's just
Does
the
not.
healing. It's
Perfect.
just regen.
Oh, before I go, Rinley, was there anybody you needed me to heal? Or did you guys get
can you
everybody?
sending stone the king? I'm not sure if I got him. Like sending stone the king of Westbane to see if he had an oil of etherealness. And that was the only thing that needed to be
Oh,
messaged.
I don't have the stone, so I'll carry on to
I think
the-
Elwyn has it.
I'll ring up the king.
Hello.
Hey, bro, did you find that oil of etherealness?
What?
Etherealness, oil. Renly sent you a message.
He looks around. He says, "No. I did send word over to Caliota to see if she had, but she hasn't gotten back to me yet. The messenger said that her shop was closed."
Oh, that's
It's only
right. She
open
only
at
opens
night.
at night. Yeah. When you get that info, can you just hit us up? Let us know what's up.
Also, let them know Sovereign Glue will work.
That too.
He's like,
Universal
"Hmm."
Solomon. No.
We don't need
Universal
more glue.
Solomon.
We don't need more glue.
He nods his head. He's like, "Well, do you mind if I ask what this is for? This is a very odd request."
You
we're-
recall our
Weren't you just
meeting?
fighting a dragon?
Oh yeah, we killed that motherfucker. But anyway, I remember our plan.
What of
Robin
Mistrala?
to get.
is Mistrala
Bro,
destroyed?
chill.
Are the people still?
Bro.
Dude, you know what? Here, talk to him, Albrecht.
You passed the
I kind
phone.
of look at you like a kid looks at their parents when they put them on with their grandparents. And I say, thanks, buddy. And I'll talk to, I don't even
Tyrell.
remember his name. I'll talk to
King Tyrell.
And I will, because, we're basically waiting until Deimos can mass heal again. So I'll very patiently answer all his questions as the best my dwarf temper can.
Okay. So you take a few minutes to explain to him what happened. He's hanging on every word, and then he says, "By the gods, that's an incredible story. 2 dragons dead. 5 remain. Their forces are weakened as much as ever. The time for us to strike must be drawing near. I will have my messengers return to Caliota's abode, and I will inquire of her, and we will secure what you ask for as soon as possible."
Cool, thank you. Just remember, Oil of Etherealness or Universal Solvent will work.
Understood. Okay.
And I'll hand the stone back to Elwyn.
Alright. So what are you guys gonna do? So the town is gathered in the center of the town. Basically, the people are gathered. Most of them are still afflicted by disease.
They have 2 really nice mansions they can go play in.
Okay, so you're gonna send them into the mansions.
They've got fully furnished bathhouses, fully furnished restaurants. They're gonna live like kings and queens tonight.
Okay.
Just remember, when Daimless does get his mass heal back, we need to get him into a 60-foot area so they're all in range.
Yeah, they can come and go as they please. I gave them all permission.
I will ask for the. I will ask a spokesperson, like elementally, like, who are the most injured, like the ones on the death's door at the moment, who seem to be very, very close to the end, and I will see if lesser restorations help that.
Yeah, there's about 20 of them that
Okay.
are you can tell are the most crippled,
Okay.
the most afflicted.
I would have some of them volunteer to stay back for like 10 minutes, so I'm going to try detect disease and detect curse as a moonkin, and then
Okay.
I will lesser restoration them and see if that will
Okay.
work.
All right. Again, no diseases, no curses, but still the same disease is coursing through their bodies.
Okay.
You do, as you cast lesser restoration, it does purge the disease from their bodies, and as your healing mists still kind of infuse the area, you can see them greatly relax as their bodies uncurl, and you can tell that they've had the desired effect.
I will do that like for 4 of them, and I will attempt to lesser restoration on 4, and then I'll do the medicine check as mood fight, and see if I can actually see if that works. Christ! Okay,
You cannot.
fine. And I just asked Moonsight, like the spirit of Moonsight, like, have you come across this disease before? I'm not having luck with my rituals, like really bad luck. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
Nope, Moonsith has no idea what it is.
Okay, fine. I'm done. They
me
can head
assume
off it.
Was something possibly just under the ground when it was all shifty and whatnot?
Hey, I'm gonna give one of my daggers to Deimos, and I'll be back, bro. If I appear in your arms, I got in trouble. I'm gonna start flying over to where the castle is, like where it all began, and
Okay.
see if I can see like any blighted, like anything out of the,
Kind of like fissure areas.
And when I get to the,
and I'll go invisibly.
I want to try to
Okay.
find the most recent dead.
Alright, so Adis, you get to over where the dead are. What are you doing there?
I'm going to try to find the body that looks to have been the most recent death.
Okay, yeah, it's on top. It looked like it was
Okay.
thrown there like the previous day.
I'm gonna cast Identify on it.
Okay. No magical effects or anything around it.
Okay. I'm gonna fly up into the air. Is it a big pile of bodies?
Pretty decent sized. Yeah, you figure there's dozens.
Does the ground look corrupted at all?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna shape change into I'm like a half a mile away from town, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna fly over to the side of the pile and shape change into a red dragon and incinerate all the bodies.
Okay. Spectacular bonfire. Alright. Elwyn, you fly back over to town.
It's obviously not magic, so fire's the best way to get rid of it.
Elwyn, you fly back to town.
I'm just glad you didn't take that route with the whole town itself.
As you're flying back to town, Elwyn, you pass by two other towns of similar size to this town that Robin was in, and you see them similarly affected. Actually, they look very close to what Robin's town looked like. And as you get to the keep, the castle that you passed over earlier, you look closer, and you do see that they have also been afflicted by the disease.
Does it look more advanced in this region, like more people are in the later stages, or does it look pretty evenly distributed? Like trying to track down the source, you know what I mean? Where it started.
Yeah. It does look like the town has been hit harder. It's hard to tell because the town was ravaged by dragons, so a lot of the buildings were destroyed and that kind of stuff. But you do see that all throughout the streets are strewn are bodies that were curled up and broken, and yeah, you do, now that you know what you're looking for, you see quite a few corpses even in the streets that are curled up in this fetal position.
Okay. And did I get my ring of invisibility back from Hell, or is that gone? I don't remember.
You kept it with you. You never gave it to anyone.
Okay, cool. All right, just asking. And all right, so now that so I can come to a reasonable conclusion that this is where all this shit started.
This or somewhere close to it, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll start heading back.
Okay.
You should just do it into Damos's arms just to be funny.
And I'll come back to town as a Kotal.
Okay.
Not as a red dragon.
Probably a decent idea.
All right. So by this
I will
time,
land in Damos's arms invisibly, and then release my concentration.
Oh. Nice.
As this happens, Albert just walked past and says, "Get a room."
I'm like, why would we do in a room? I already have a room. Super confused.
you guys wasted that time when Damos was gender shifted. It's like lost opportunity.
Yeah, you guys messed up.
I could fix that.
The hardest days ever.
I could fix that for you.
Whatever happened to that magic item?
It broke. When Elwyn dispelled it, it broke.
Would you like to be female again, Damas?
I'm very confused what you're trying to say. I'm kind of cool with what I am right now.
Okay. Alright, so most of the town has moved into the two mansions. Renly, you are casting Commune with Nature.
Once they come back and pass along the word, then I'll head to the outskirts of town and then cast that. Trying to figure out if there's like this strange like cave or anything underneath the town. Who knows? Earth shifted, right? So trying to figure out the terrain of this place within 3 miles, and then any major things have changed. But mainly I'm talking to the Earth, going like, "Hey, has a lot of stuff died around here lately? Like, is there sort of horrible death nearby that I can heal for you? What would you like me to do?" And I'll just talk to the Earth and that.
Alright, so roll a wisdom check.
totally close. Let me see. Here we go. Okay.
The feeling you get, like you don't identify any specific cavern or breach in the land around you, within 3 miles of you, like the spell says.
Okay.
But in communing with nature, you do get a sense that there is something wrong, that something new has been introduced to the area. And you get it specifically from, it's not plants, it's not minerals, it's not even the water or anything like that, or those three. I'll gotta say it's not the water. It hasn't anything to do with plants, or the earth itself. And there are no celestials, fiends, fae, elementals, or undead that are
Alrighty.
in the area either.
Okay, so perhaps it might be some sort of artifact or some kind of object or strange thing or building or something.
That's what you can tell with that. And like I said, it's not. You don't sense anything within 3 miles of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out one of my condoms and I'm gonna cast enlarge on it and I'm gonna crawl into it, so I don't get infected.
You could just cast reduction on yourself and crawl into the condom.
That actually would be funnier.
We could carry you
Yourself
in
in
our
Deimos.
pocket.
And
Yourself in
then-
Deimos' pocket.
Yeah, just ride Deimos around.
And then Deimos could put it on and keep you company.
What? I'm confused. I'm a holy man.
All right, so the town is inside the rooms. What are you gonna do?
I'm looking for a spell. Hold on.
I would
I just wanna-
tell you guys what I discovered over there. It looks like that's the epicenter.
So you want me to go
And-
blow it up?
No, dude.
No.
We need to investigate that shit.
Do you want to go crawl down in a cave-infested keep? Or
Absolutely.
disease?
That's what
Sounds
adventurers do.
Pretty cool, actually.
No, that's
Yeah,
what crazy
what's the
people
keep?
do. That's what
What's the
crazy
keep
people
before?
That's
Or
why
the
we
town?
became adventurers.
It was the keep.
No one
right?
ever gave
Minus-
us like, no one ever said we were sane.
As best as you can tell, it's somewhere in that area. You're not sure exactly what it was.
I'd say it's the motherfucking keep. Deimos, do you have some like cootie repellent magic?
Yes.
I can take care of you guys if you get sick, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, because we're gonna need. We're still waiting for Deimos to recharge his 9th level.
Yeah, I can do 5 heals to remove disease.
I don't want to get it in the first place though.
Then why'd you become an adventurer?
I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, it sounded fun. I'm super confused on what you're trying to talk about. Like, you seem like you don't know what an adventure is.
You said you didn't care about crawling down in a disease-infested keep because you're an adventurer, and now you're
Yeah.
worried about getting a disease. So which
Yeah.
is it? Either you don't
I
care about it,
mean-
or you do care about it.
No, it's part of the adventure. I mean, it's like saying, hey, I want to go jump through these cool things that has, like, knives in it, but, like, I really don't really want to
Anyways.
get stabbed by a knife.
Before we leave, I'll step into each of the mansions and tell one of my servants that are in each one
Mhm.
to remind them a half hour before the spell is going to end, so they don't all get ejected at one time.
Okay. Sounds
Because
good.
a pile of 100 people probably wouldn't end well.
Was it still the same
Probably
day
not.
from the dragon fight?
I think so.
Yes, it is.
Oh, sweet. So I still have foresight.
You do.
You guys want to go do that?
Let's go do it.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna heal the town first.
Well,
We
can.
need mass heal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can go
that's
do
what-
that and then rest during the night and then come heal the town.
And
I-
if you cure the
I think we
source of
should
the
rest
disease,
first.
perhaps it might get rid of everybody diseased. Who knows? You know.
I
Okay,
slam
well,
my
if you guys
staff
wanna
into the
go-
ground
I'll go.
and I teleport us all to the keep.
Let's not teleport because
But let's not
you have
teleport.
You've
Terrible
not
idea.
been
Nope.
there, and there's a random
No, we,
chance.
we,
So
we
That's
no,
like the worst
we've
idea
been-
ever.
No, we've been next to it, so I know where it is.
we've been a mile away.
It's
We
not
flew
far. I mean,
up.
we can fly. Why waste your spell slot?
Let's
Yeah,
just
we
fly
still got
over.
wings, right? No, we don't have wings, but
I don't know. Do we still have wings?
I'll do wind walk. That'll last for the day, and we can always wind walk back, and then it'll be fine.
Is
So
that the
yeah,
is that the one we transition in and out of?
yes.
Okay.
It's the cloud form, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys
Awesome.
shift into a cloud form, and you start heading over into the direction of the town, or the keep of Nota. That's what it's called. You guys arrive, still in your mist form, and like I said, you see the curled up bodies of people littering the streets of this wrecked town. This wrecked keep. But you do see, like I said before, last time you checked it, there are people still around in certain sections of the city, trying to maintain order or whatever.
So it's like the
All
town
head-
around the keep.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll head for what I think is like the throne room or something like that.
I'll
So you're heading
follow
to the throne room. Alright, you get to the keep, and the throne room, the keep itself, like the palace area, is completely walled off. It's boarded up, and outside it there are guards stationed. The doors are shut, and like there's stuff piled up on the outside to keep whatever's inside still inside.
I'll Elwyn up. Like I'll go from Cloudy to Elwyn, by the guards, and I'll ask them for some information. Like
Okay,
what's in
so
there,
you
bros?
So you shift out of the mist form. It takes a little while, but you eventually do, and you come up and you approach one of the guards, right?
Yeah.
This dude's standing there with his spear. He's like, "Holy, hey!" He says, "Who are you? What are you doing? Where'd you come from?"
What's up, bro? I'm Elwyn, the fire god from the sky. I have come to save you all.
"Oh God!" He looks around, and the other guards around him are likewise gathered, and several others begin to come around.
I shape change into a planetar and rise up behind
Would you
it.
stop shape changing?
Hey, I'm just helping him sell it.
So as that happens, they all draw their spears and they say, "Quick! Yes, call the sheriff! Get reinforcements!"
No, it's all right. He's with me. Don't worry about it. But yeah, go get the sheriff. I want to talk to him.
Get the sheriff on both these guys!
Anyway, while someone goes and gets the sheriff, I'd like to introduce you to my friend here. He punches things really hard. His name is Deimos. And I start hanging out Tempest pamphlets.
It's great. Actually, I printed a shit ton of these out just for this day. Like, I'll reach my pocket and pull passports to everybody.
Okay?
And
You guys all begin to materialize, and they say, "What?" He says, "Who are you and what do you want?" He says, "No one's come to this town, and we don't take kindly to strangers."
We've come from a nearby village that has been afflicted with the same disease that you guys have been. We're here to see if we can find the source and stop it.
And it looks like it's in there. I point to the keep, to the castle.
He looks at you guys. He says, "You'd be right about that. There is disease in there, but there's a disease everywhere. We walled that place off because the king's gone mad. Had the disease, started issuing all sorts of crazy orders, killing people, hanging them, flaying
What
them.
sorts of orders?
Just
Okay, so
going
basically
batshit
murder.
crazy.
Okay.
Is he,
Yeah.
is he still alive?
He says, We don't know. We've kept
can
him
always
locked
find
inside
out.
there. We closed everything up. On sheriff's orders.
Is he lying?
No.
Okay.
I'll ask him. Do you know where the disease started from? Like who the first person sick was?
He says, no, we were all fucked up after the dragon attacked. Freaking ripped the ground, ripped up underneath us, shaking the whole place down, crumbling buildings and everything. And then afterwards, many were dead, many were lost. And then the week after, people began to get sick. That's all I know. And now they're
Wait,
dying everywhere.
Where did
Did
the
it-
first reports come from?
Yeah, did it start in the castle or did it start in the town?
Yes, it was everywhere. The king was one of them that grew sick, but he definitely wasn't the first. So we got our
Well, we
hands full
can-
now.
We
Among the
could
healthy,
we
among
could
the
try
healthy,
to
there's
get
only a
your
few of us
king.
left.
What's your king's name?
John,
John what?
just John.
Share.
Okay. So King John. Okay. Shall we deal with the king?
I think so. I mean, let's wait to the sheriff here so we can,
Okay.
actually be civilized people.
He's John the 13th. King John the 13th.
Ah,
You'll have to deal. You have to tighten it up with the sheriff.
Okay. If we can help, can I have your left shoe?
No, fuck you.
No, we'll help
Okay,
out.
Rocket.
Trust me. Yeah, I want your left shoe.
Deimos, remember we talked about respecting people with pointy things?
You know, he said pointy ears.
So he points his spirit to you. He says, "So I see you. I know your type." He says, "You look at you. You got like horns and wings and like is that an ear hanging off your chest there? Is that an eyeball hanging?
Oh,
You're one of them
I have no
sick
got no
motherfuckers.
eyeballs in my eye.
Them
That's some
sick
weird
motherfuckers,
stuff.
like body part collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
No, I
be
don't do
keeping
that.
my shoe to myself. You sick fucker.
Yeah,
They're called
should.
trophies.
You should
There's a
keep your shoe.
difference.
My shoe stand on my foot. Thank you very
You
much.
should be polite to the guy with the shiny, pointy spear thingy.
Yeah. He said ears. The spear's not very dangerous.
No, the ears you
More-
have to worry about with elves. Spears with humans.
So define pointy.
What he's holding in
So-
his hand.
So
At this point,
blades,
more
okay.
more guards come up, and among them is a particularly well-armored individual, full greaves, full faceplate, walks up, and you can tell by the authority that the other guards give that this is the sheriff.
Is it hot in there, bro?
A couple of guards looking at and he said, the sheriff, he don't like to talk to anybody.
Is he undead? Is that why we cannot see his face?
You guys mind if I take his helmet off so he can talk to us?
The sheriff don't like to take his mask off to anybody.
Are you undead? Are you dead? I can't tell. We need to see your face.
Sure. You see the armored helmet shake in a no, and then the guard and then the guard says, "Sheriff," he says, "these people claim they want to get inside the castle. They say that they can heal the king if possible." The sheriff looks back at you. Sword not really drawn, just sword in hand. And the guard says, "What do you have in the way of proof, by the way? I mean, I saw you come out of nowhere, but how do we know you can do this?"
Well, if
I gesture to Adis and I say he's a freaking angel.
Well, that's right,
if your
fucking
sheriff
Alright, I
is
guess.
feeling under the weather, perhaps we could cure him
We got a
when
guy.
he removes
a
his
guy.
helmet.
Alright.
We're gonna. He's huge.
Draconic presence.
Okay.
Does he look? Does he look weird at all?
The sheriff
Yeah. Is he a shape
or
changer?
the guards?
Or under the effect of any kind of illusion?
No.
Okay.
And I'll use awe. I won't use fear.
Okay.
Rise up into the air on my beautiful dragon wings. And
Okay.
say, "Fear not. We have come to save all of you."
All right. At that, the guards all begin to shake and cower. They kind of like quake in their boots. The sheriff though is standing still there, and you can see him. You can see him a little bit intimidated, but of all of them, he quakes the least, and he's kind of stops a little bit, and he turns up and looks at you, hand on his sword. And
We kill
just
this dragon
watching you,
lord
just looking at you, just
outside your gate.
evaluating you.
I will tell him, "Remove your helmet in my presence."
The sheriff leans over to the guard, and you can hear a bit of a whisper, and the guard stands up and says, "The sheriff says you can have access to the keep. That door has not been opened in over a month. But the sheriff will not be removing his helmet."
I cannot roll tonight. I was just going to insight check the sheriff to see if there's anything. I get any funky feel from him.
You
You're
insight
gonna
check
read,
the
like,
armor.
facial expressions and body language.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Deimos is pretty charismatic, and he figured all this out pretty well. So I'm gonna follow the rules because I'm good at that. I'll walk up to him, or her, whichever, and I won't remove the helmet. I'm gonna slide that face mask up, cause see, meeting in the middle. That's what it's all about in this world.
So you're gonna try to go up and lift his face mask.
Yeah, with a big smile on my face, I'm like,
Here, you don't have to move your helmet. This way we can all be happy.
All right, the sword comes out, and the sheriff strikes a pose of, and you can tell a very skilled warrior. And the guard says, "Hold on there," he says. "You are in our good graces. The sheriff, our sheriff has been the law and order in this town. Right now, we're rife with crime and fucking looters, just trying to take advantage of those families who've gone sick and can't defend themselves anymore in the wake of this fucking dragon's attack. And this sheriff is all that keeps this place in order, while the king's been batshit crazy. And here you all trying to insult him? So I don't think so.
No.
We will
Let's go up,
all
hey.
fuck you up."
Oh, don't do that. I don't think you understand. We have an Albric and a Quigley. Oh shit! We also have a
yeah.
Quigley.
Oh, that Quigley's there with you. Quigley's still bouncing around like on his butterfly wings. You're like, what, him? He's still in his zen state, just kind of like fluttering around.
I'm just saying. The only reason. Okay, how about this? You guys don't have to see the sheriff's face, but can we see the sheriff's
How
face?
about you
It's
just
more
leave
for, like,
the sheriff
recognition.
alone, for fuck's sake, and let's go in and deal with the king instead of fucking around outside.
Yeah,
the
I like
gate.
that idea. I mean, he's creepy, but I'm not that concerned with him. So
Okay.
And I will cast Detect Evil.
Okay.
I was hoping someone had a spell like that.
Okay. You don't get any. There's actually no semblance of evil or magic or any kind of presence in this area.
The sheriff's
Please.
fine. Leave him the hell alone and let's go.
I'm gonna
He's just a creepy
cast.
dude.
I'm gonna point a finger at the sheriff, and I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna cast a cantrip message, and I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna whisper in his ear. After we're done with your king, I'm gonna come back and see your face.
The sheriff sheaths his sword, standing straight back up, looking at you, and just standing there, regarding you. And the guard says to you, he says, "You take care. You follow through on your word. You prove to us that you're worth talking to.
Oh, can we do less talking and more king killing, please?
Curing,
Yep, let
not
us
killing.
in. Yeah, let us in.
We don't need them to
no,
let
it's
us
cool.
in. We can fly over the damn wall.
Okay.
It's all boarded up, right?
It's boarded up, yeah.
Oh, it's like a
I'll
gate
cast
to a
pass
building.
wall, and we can go in.
All right, yeah. As you guys are walking through the wall, you guys hear the guard going, "Holy shit! Who
Yes,
are
my
these
shit
people?"
is whole. I say yes, my shit is holy as I walk through the door.
He says, "Oh, holy fuck, that too." All right, you guys walk into the keep, and the remnants. You can tell that there was a kind of bloodbath inside here. Um, there are corpses on the ground that have been killed. As they see a spear through the back of one individual. A couple people are strung up and hanging from the walls. The king had obviously gone mad, as he had ordered the deaths of all these people inside the keep. Many of these bodies, though, you can tell were strung up or spread everywhere even after they died. So, like, some of them had died from disease, or even death during the dragon attack, and had not been evacuated, had not been cleared out yet. But the building had just been decorated with these bodies. You're walking through, and you don't see any semblance of life except the stench of rotting. I mean, the sensations that really come over you are the buzzing of the flies around the carcasses, and the stench of rotting bodies.
I'm going to transform into Bagheera, like the Shadow Cat, and start
Okay.
to stealth forward to try to provide reconnaissance.
While we do that, while we were going in, I would have used up 4 level 1 spells, 2, 3, 4, 2 level 2s, and 2 level 3s to get sorcery points back. So that's 6.
Okay.
7,
So
14.
we'll fast forward. We'll fast forward the next bit, because the whole building is just filled with death. There's no one living anymore in the building, and as you guys make your way to the throne room, you find that the king is on the throne, but racked up, his body contorted as his joints have basically clenched up. His face in a weird contortion, his eyes weeping, this yellow pus, his body just frozen there in a unholy looking contorted state. The crown
dead?
still sitting on his head. Yes.
Alrighty. So nothing alive.
Correct.
Detect magic. On the crown.
The crown, no.
It's just an object. I
Let's
pick
see.
an object.
Do you see anything
Yeah.
magical within like 30, 60 feet? Like with detect magic?
No. Detect magic is you pick something. You choose
No,
a creature,
identify a
object, or effect.
Yeah,
Oh,
detect magic is an area around you. I mean,
Yeah.
you see.
I
I mean,
I was looking at
the
this. Sorry, yeah. Detect magic. That's what I meant.
yeah. The only, I mean, there's hints of small magic in the area, but just like you would see in a normal town almost. There's, the king has a ring that has some faint magic properties to it.
Hey, Deimos.
Some
do
light
you have
enchantment to
magic
it.
ring?
What did you say?
The king has a magic ring, Deimos.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Are there any like secret doors or any weird passages that seem weird in the castle? I mean, in the keep.
The keep it's been, a lot of it has fallen down. So yeah, you can see that's like even the joining walls between some of the rooms have collapsed on themselves. It's in complete ruins.
Okay.
So, walking through, I mean, you go through, you see the treasury. The treasury is actually pretty well stored. I mean, they had locked the place off, and the treasury itself was still. So there's a large amount of gold and jewels and gems in the treasury. I mean, the king is wearing a ring of mind shielding, but it's just because he's a king and that's not the kind of thing that king would wear. The as you guys explore the keep, it's much like the rest of the towns that you've seen, except this has been a focal point as far as they closed it off because the king was mad. The stench of death, the sickness that's been prevalent all over, the buzzing of the flies, the weeping, the yellow, the weeping scurvy, that's afflicting a lot of the people, the corpses around. That's
Were
pretty
there
much
any big, large gems in the treasury?
it. Not the kind of gems you're thinking.
Okay.
500 gold and less.
I'll take one.
Okay, you get yourself a diamond worth 500 gold.
Okay.
I turn back into my regular form and I look towards everyone else. I go,
I'm not sure what to do yet. Perhaps we do have to wait till tomorrow to figure things out.
I'm gonna use.
No,
Mage
I'm
Hand.
gonna head to. Did we make it to the throne room?
I'm gonna use Mage Hand to take
Yes.
the crown off the king.
Oh, and
Okay,
everyone's
it lifts
dead.
off. Everyone is dead in the castle.
Nothing happens.
No,
I
nothing
am
happens.
going. I'm going to just start investigating things, seeing if I can find like notes or like secret passages or just things in general.
Secret passages there may have been some back rooms that connected to each other, but like I said, the castle's been wrecked by an earthquake, basically.
Okay.
A lot of the walls have caved in on themselves, so they're not secret anymore, really. As far as notes and royal documents, they're all over the place. You know, letters of diplomacy from one kinghold to another, writs of debt and what money that was owed, and promises here and that kind of stuff. Typical things you'd find in a court, a king's court. But you can tell that all of that's worthless now because the disease and the dragon attack that kind of went hand in hand have just ravaged the city.
Anything about like patient zero or about the disease itself?
Roll a investigation. Oh, you did. You do find some notes that had come to the king about from basically the castle doctor, talking about the sickness that had been afflicting them. They're just some preliminary notes talking about how he narrowed it down that this disease that had begun to be spread, it wasn't a normal type of sickness, in the sense that it wasn't communicated by blood or bodily fluids or air. Its accompanying symptoms, there was no fever or cold or cough or anything that went along with it. It wasn't anything like it was nothing like the doctor had seen before. He'd been trying to narrow down how it was communicated from one person to another, but his conclusion was that it was not transmitted by any of those means. And the notes were fairly preliminary, because you can tell that the castle the shit had hit the fan fairly soon after his notes had been written.
I'm gonna shoot the king in the foot with a firebolt.
Okay, it's a body. It
Just
catches
making
his
sure
rope catches
he's
fire.
Dead. Just making sure he's
His fire,
dead.
yeah, his rope catches fire.
I'll let him burn.
I just continue looking for clues. Because I'm thinking this is the epicenter of the disease.
Is that-
So I'm
did
looking for clues.
Did that note you find have the doctor's name?
Did it?
I wild shape into water form and then douse him off.
Yeah, it was written by Dr. Elias Shielding.
Did
I
we
will-
want
Okay,
to
you douse off
attempt
the
to
body.
raise? Did we
Wait.
want to attempt to raise the king and cure him of his madness and disease, so people have, somebody
No.
in charge?
I don't think we
if
want
you if you
The
if
sheriff
I will,
seems to be doing a good job.
if you raise this king, I will feel very compelled to strike him right back down for the evil he has done.
But he was driven insane. He was literally mad.
Hey, this guy, he doesn't understand it.
I don't think it's worth resurrecting one person, even if it's just the king.
But if we do that, Albrecht, that'll pretty much show the sheriff that we're here to help, and he'll be more forthcoming with information.
And that's also if the sheriff isn't,
True.
the
The
doctor dude.
real bad guy.
That's cool though.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna scry the doctor.
Okay.
Or try.
Yeah, the doctor's corpse is pretty close to where the notes were found.
Okay. Hey, sometimes the bad guy is the evil doctor. I mean,
At the moment, all we have are suppositions, and we have no clue what that's
In
going
the
right
doctor's notes, is there anything about an origin of the disease?
No, the doctor was trying to figure out where it came from, and how it was being communicated.
Did he have any ideas?
the doctor might be worth bringing back.
That is true. How many resurrection spells do we got left, guys?
Or raise deads? Or viv? Oh wait, no, it's been more than 10 days. Never mind.
We don't know that. We don't know how long the doctor's been dead.
Deimos, how many life-bringing spells do you have?
Let's see. Deimos uses 9th and 8th spell slots. He has 1 7th level left. True Resurrection would be what he needed. Raise Dead is level 5, but it's only within 10 days. Revivify is within 1 minute. He would have to True Resurrection the doctor.
Yeah, okay, so, see, at that point I also don't think it's working, because then we're just wasting spell slots.
What about resurrection? Like if Deimos could cast that the next day.
Yeah,
He
but
has
we
just
also need
normal
that.
Resurrection.
I mean, like, you can prepare it the next morning, right?
But again, we just need high-level spell slots to heal the town. I don't want to... If it's too high, I don't want to waste it.
Yeah, no, the
someone we
resurrection
don't
is
know.
not 9th level.
He'd have
Yeah,
to
True
he'd have to
Resurrections.
prepare it the next morning
Alrighty.
because he doesn't have it prepared right now.
Yeah, resurrection is 7th level. So he could still cure the town and everything, and then we could come back and at least have a bit more power behind us.
Okay.
What if there's something under this place?
I mean, we probably checked the dungeons, etc., right? Like, there was nothing we found.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to this place. I think Midas... I think
I
Midas
described-
is there.
I've described the general state of everything.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. What if it's underneath? Remember, it's Earth. We've experienced something underground making earthquakes before. What if it was him and the douchebag left something underground that's causing this?
Can you have can you transform into something that has a large earth or tremor vision?
Tremor sense? Yes.
Tremor sense?
I can't.
Or something that can dig down so you can... Because Krigajard could be miles under the ground, so...
I mean, outside the keep in a forest area, I could try to check what's 3 miles down by terrain.
I could
that's
just
about it.
transform into an earth elemental and go right through the floor.
Yes,
How
but
far
would
can
be
you go down?
alone.
As far as there is earth to go down.
Do it then.
Alrighty. I will
Make sure you have a teleport to get back in case he's down there himself. but-
I do.
Okay.
But let me see. What's that one animal that has the like iron head pointed thing? You know what I'm talking about?
Animal that has.
Yeah, it's
bullet?
a monster. What is it?
Bullet?
Is it a
Bullet.
bullet?
I think those are the ones. Bullet.
Or you could just be a purple worm.
This?
Oh yes, I could be a purple worm. I was
I
looking for
mean-
something that actually had tremor sense, not that it could just burrow. Does a purple worm have tremor sense? It does have tremor sense. Not very far, but it does have it.
Tremor sense 60 foot. Bullet also has tremor sense 60 foot. The purple worm is burrow with 30 foot speed. Bullet is a little bit faster.
And it's
for 40 foot
gargantuan.
burrow speed.
Alright, I'll do the bullet.
Okay.
And down we go.
Alright, you're turning into bullet. They're pretty big. They look like this. They go under the ground. So alright, so you start digging. Where are you going? You're just going straight down? You're gonna look for, what are you looking
straight
for?
down. Just anything other than anything that's unnatural.
Roll 3 actually here. Roll investigation. 3 investigation checks.
With bullet stats or regular stats?
I keep my intent. 1, 2. Oh, that was an 18. 3.
You begin to wander underground, and this is gonna take a while. This is gonna take you a couple hours to go on this journey. So while you're doing that, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm just going to continue to investigate the keep until I have
Alright, so while you guys are
exhausted myself.
yeah, it would have taken you guys that long to search the castle too. So Adis, you go down underground.
It is the
Shouldn't have
best.
to roll with the you have to roll the bullet stats, wouldn't you? The bullet has an intelligence of 2.
It is awesome.
I'll let you roll perception with the bullet stats.
They gain a +6. So
Yeah.
it would just be it would have been my
21,
it'd be
10, and
my-
10.
Yeah, 21, 10 to 10.
Alright. So it takes you more than a couple hours.
Okay.
At some point in time, I would have stopped investigating and start making plans to spend the night.
Okay. Alright, so the rest
As
of you
long
guys...
as
so
I,
it's-
as long as I could, I would have investigated.
By this time, it's pretty late, you know. So you guys, you're nearing on 10 p.m. By the time you're finishing your investigation. Adis is still nowhere to be seen. What are you guys doing? You're going to try to spend the night here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if we can do it in watches and still get the long benefit of
Yeah.
long rest.
I'll cast a Deimos' incredible mansion.
Ooh. Is that a thing?
No, I just
No.
and it's like a cool
If-
fun for it. It's
If
like a
Deimos
polo game.
says it's a thing unless
It-
Midas says it's not.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
breaks a hole in a wall and moves some rocks around, so it's like a nice little cove for you guys. That's how Deimos casts Magnificent Mansion.
It makes sense to
Thank
me.
you, Deimos.
Do you
gotcha.
guys gain anything from a short rest?
Nope. I don't
Not
get anything
really.
from a long rest at this point. I just think we got to wait for Adis, and we're waiting for Deimos for a long rest. So I think the next thing we need to do is a long rest.
I mean, it depends. Like, what's everybody's spells at? I mean, we can.
No, we need your 9th level. That's all we're waiting for at this point. And Adis.
And we wanted, Rennie was hoping that you would be able to resurrect the king the next day so that we could greater restore him and his madness and then also lesser restore his disease.
Oh,
Um,
we're in a lot of
Um,
cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're blowing
oh,
through
there is a
cash.
treasury right there!
Oh,
Like,
we'll use
Rennie
that.
points to the treasury.
Oh, sweet.
This is
Hey,
true.
Midas.
Yo.
Where was it? Shit. Which one? Was it this one? No. Had to be this one then. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna say after about 2 hours of this being annoying, I'm gonna hollow out a hole and I'm gonna true polymorph into a fucking brass dragon.
Okay.
Now, does your guy smart enough to know to turn into a dragon, or does he want to do more just like eating random stuff he finds?
I still have
he
my
starts.
personality, yo. I still have my
He finds a
personality.
pile of shit, and he just starts like rolling in and like.
So the
So
true
what's with the dragon?
polymorph is an ability, right? Like he can do it no matter what. He's not
Yeah,
permanently a bullet now.
Yeah, he can drop
it's
the spell.
Okay, perfect.
because
Why
brass
are you turning
dragons.
into a brass dragon?
Because they can burrow.
Are you sure not a purple worm? That sucker is gargantuan.
And they're way more perceptive than this hulking rock.
All right. Well, you're still in bullet form as you're traveling underground. And eventually the tremor sense does as you start burrowing through. You do pick up on something. Your first roll was pretty high. You pick up
Oh,
on
okay.
something incorrect in the way that the rocks are laying on each other. But the reason why it takes you a long time to find um, is because you rolled twice. The next two rolls are pretty crappy, so it takes you a while. You pick up on something and you just continue to search and search, going deeper and wider, spreading your patterns out farther and farther as you're searching underground.
Found
The
lead.
rest of you guys,
Lead's not unnatural.
your rest of you guys hole up in some random room. You clear it of corpses. Deimos, you stack some big stones up and you block the doorway and that kind of stuff. You guys get your long rest.
Sorry, Adis.
Um,
But you basically have unlimited spells with unlimited polymorphs.
No, I don't.
Adis, through your burrowing, what you eventually find is a long, dark chasm that was split open in the ground, a little bit away from the city, from this keep. You figure it's about a few hundred yards away from the keep. You found a large crack in the ground that split there as a result of the seismic activity. And following the crack in the earth downward, you go down thousands of feet, and so you're down a good half a mile, right? And you encounter a large cavern down there, filled with rock and debris and stuff that wouldn't necessarily be traversable by normal living creatures. But you do detect hints of underground life forms, and you're deep enough now that you're underground. Roll a let's see here. The bullet would know. The bullet would know what this is. That's
Would it
underground,
really?
deep underground. There's a whole nother there's another world with other inhabitants and different creatures and that kind of stuff. It's the what's known to the rest of the world, the mortal plane, is the Underdark. Basically, this fissure connects the upper realm to the realm underground, to the Underdark. And down here you find the corpse of a particularly large and festering creature that you're not sure how it was there. You can tell it's still rotting and decaying. It's pustulent, it's nasty, but it's been there for a while now, probably about closer to a year.
Is there any yellow pus coming out of it?
There is.
I immediately true polymorph or release the true polymorph and teleport back into the keep.
Roll a so as you do that, I need you to roll me a perception check. And I'll let you use your own stats because you the bullet not necessarily wouldn't have noticed, but I want to see if you noticed it.
Is it just off kilter? Was it before you consider that roll? Is it anything that has to do with an illusion, trap, shape change, something of an arcane nature?
No magic. This is a natural thing.
Okay.
And with perception, let's see. What does the bullet have?
They have a +6, so it would have been less by 1. It'd have been a 10.
Passive perception of 16. The bullet was weirded out down there when in your bullet form. But not because of the creature. Let's see. Roll me one more perception check for the bullet form to see what the bullet would have noticed.
Alright, so I'll just roll a d20 and then add 6, so 19.
The bullet was weirded out because of the flies that were all gathered around the creature down there.
Yeah, exactly why I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Okay. Then the flies are not natural to the Underdark, the realm of the bullet.
Okay. I sync that info in my mind, and I use my... oh, shit. I had used 3 first-level spells, 2 7th-level spells, a 5th, a 6th, a 4th. Because you did the long rest reset my spells too, and a 3rd. Okay. I use my last 7th level and teleport back to the keep.
Okay. You arrive there, and it doesn't take you long to find where your friends are. It's past, the midnight. They're all resting. You can begin your rest, but you're not. You're gonna have to wake up around noon. It's like 4 a.m. to get your own version of a long rest.
Do I know what time of day it is right now? Did you say?
It's like 4 a.m.
Okay, I'll just go to sleep. I'll let them sleep.
Okay. Now I do have a question for you, Adis.
Mm-hmm.
When you cast your magnificent mansions, right?
Yes.
How did you designate the population that could enter the doors?
Residents of that village.
Okay.
The human residents? Or
Only-
humanoid?
The only people
That's
who
what
were
it is.
allowed to enter were us and actual residents. Like the individual human being people. No
Humanoid.
flies, no lizards.
It's bullshit.
Because I can't do a blanket. I have to designate each person. I can't just say. Technically, you can't say all people in this village. You actually have to designate each individual.
It's like, that I choose you. I choose you. Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basically I stood
So
in front
you-
of the door and said, "I choose you, go in. I choose you, go in. I choose you, go in." It's basically how it works, from my reading
Okay.
of it.
Okay.
And if they all wind up dead, I honestly don't care. But they do get a 30-minute warning before they get ejected.
Okay. The night goes by. You guys all wake up from your long rest, and you find Adis still sleeping.
I'll let
What do
him
you guys do?
sleep.
This is the next morning.
I'll let him sleep.
Okay. So you guys continue waiting around until around noon. The next day,
Oh,
Adis
I
finally
will-
wakes up.
I will.
Go
I
on.
will do a divine truth. I'm just gonna ask I will transform into Moonkin and just be like, "What is the source of this disease?" And just ask them that question.
You couldn't have done this earlier.
No, I didn't have the spell slot for it.
Oh, fair enough.
Divine truth. So you ask your guide, patron, or universe at large a question. Go ahead and make your spell check. DC 18, wisdom check.
I mean,
Awesome. And I'm
we really
totally moon sight. And let's do this. Oh my god, I'm gonna roll another 8 or 4.
wouldn't it be easier for you to just ask me? Since
That
I'm,
looks,
obviously your patron.
That looks like a nice 8 there, Renly. I wish all my 8s looked like that.
This is a communicable disease. It's being brought up by the flies are feeding on some kind of massive underdark parasitic vile creature, and it's changed them. It's mutated the flies, and as they come up above the ground, and they collect. They do what flies do. they've been laying their eggs in the mucous membranes of people, and the larvae have been spawning. And as the larvae spawn, they make their way to the eye sockets, the ocular cavities of people, and they it's an ideal environment for the larvae to grow. And as they grow, the body's natural reaction is to fight it, and the combination of the fighting is resulting in this yellow pus that pours out of their eyes. But what happens is the larvae begin to embed themselves in the body's systems, making their way up the ocular nerve to the brain, where the nerves begin to rapid fire and go crazy, causing the great pain in the joints and contortion, and eventual madness and death. So it's a very parasitic type of disease that's been communicated by fly larva that's being implanted in people's bodies.
That's what you get for a 20.
I check off the 8th level, and I share this all in very much a heebie-jeebie way.
That is very curious. Why doesn't the sheriff take off his helmet? Does he have some insight on this? Does he know how it happens, and he's just not been telling anyone?
He's blocking himself off from the flies, but no big deal.
Probably, actually.
Whoa! He might realize that there's something, that's causing it that he needs to be protected from. Who knows?
That might be actually a legitimate reason. So the problem is since this is not magic, if we kill the thing, we still got disease flies killing everybody. And it'll take Deimos at least 4 days to cure everybody.
Flies only live for 24 hours, right? So if we kill the thing, those flies won't be able to get infected again, and they'll
The
die
thing is
off
dead.
in a day.
They're eating its corpse.
Yeah, we have to
It was something
destroy the corpse.
that died.
Destroy the corpse.
Basically, Krigajard, when he was down there,
Triggered
causing this
the
great
earthquake.
disturbance, managed this thing died in the big wake of his disruption, and the flies just started, and because of the big fissure, flies were drawn to it, and they went down there and they were multiplying. It was a very ideal environment for flies to begin to multiply and spawn and breed and just mutate down there in this thing's corpse.
So basically, we're gonna have to tell Adis he's gonna have to go back there and burn the whole thing up.
You don't know that I found it yet.
Yeah,
So you're awake now.
That's-
It's
right
yeah.
Oh, I'm awake now? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no,
noon the next day.
you assholes are coming back with me?
Dude, so you can take us with you this time.
Dude, it took me half my fucking spells to get out of there alive.
Yeah, whatever. If you want to take us with you, but you're the one with the with the
Krigers-
dragon breath.
Krigashar opened a fissure into the Underdark. It's not just flies down there.
Okay, well, take us then. Let's go burn this thing up, and then somehow figure out how to mass kill a bunch of flies.
How
By
much
the way,
room
let's see here. All of you roll me a D10, a D20.
Oh, we're totally infested with flies.
I'm fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm wild shaping into
Renly-
fire and summoning cinders.
Renly, you've got a headache, and your eyes have are tearing up, and they're like leaking fluids all over your eyes.
I
your
am
eyes.
purging myself. I'm doing lesser restoration and like touching myself, and then while shaping into fire and burning everything. Everything!
Deimos is just watching. He's enjoying this show.
You see Renly flailing about, like shifting forms and bursting to fire and like holding her head and screaming and all this crazy stuff.
Sindris is here. Sindris is burning the place.
How much room was down there, Midas?
The particular cavern in the Underdark, a lot of it had been collapsed because of what Krigajard was doing. But there was enough, there are pockets of areas that you guys could have maneuvered through.
Is there enough area near where I was at for a huge creature?
there might have been a couple spots where every huge creature could fit. Renly, did you transform into a fire elemental at all? Is that what happened?
That's what I'm doing. I'm transforming into fire
Okay,
elemental,
okay.
and before that, summoning Cindrus, because we're burning this whole place down.
Okay. Okay, yeah. When you transform into the fire elemental, it just is consumed by the fire also.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, because they're inside you and you turn into flame.
Purging with fire. I like this.
Alrighty, you guys ready to go?
Yeah, I am. Jeez Louise, I'm just trying to figure out logistics of curing everybody. Especially since all our magical friends are gone.
Okay, was there a spot down there that I could teleport to that would fit all of them plus a huge creature?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, is there enough room in this room that we're in for a huge creature?
Yeah, huge is only, what,
Okay.
15 foot? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm
no, 20
gonna...
foot. Large is 15 foot.
Yeah, I'm
No,
going
large
to-
is 10.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, large is
Alright, so
2
yeah,
by
yeah.
2. Yeah.
So yes.
I'm going to true polymorph into an adult red dragon and then teleport us all down there.
Okay.
And as soon as we land, flame breath on that fucking corpse.
Okay, it's pretty big.
Oh, I know.
What are you guys doing
It's a
down there?
60-foot cone. It's a 60-foot cone.
Okay, it's gonna take a lot of fire, but you do see flies begin to start burning up.
I am going to stick close to the dragon and keep an eye out for Underdark weird things.
Anyone else helping?
I'm totally sitting on it while I'm fire elemental, along
yeah.
with Cindrus. Cindrus is doing his whole area of effect thing.
Oh yeah.
You know,
guys-
and running around.
Fire breath it again on round 4.
Okay, so you guys are blazing with fire, and like so you went full fire elemental form. You summoned Cindrius, the aspect of fire, and you're scorching the place. Elwyn, I'm assuming that you're going crazy with dragon fire also.
Absolutely. I'm showing them up. I'm going to show them how an ancient dragon breathes.
Okay.
I'm gonna show him up by I'll
That
find
much fire
specific
damage.
flies, and I'm going to sacred flame that one fly.
All right,
Plus
Mil-
that dragon.
from where you are,
Yeah,
this creature is burning, and like the clouds of like it's just thick with nasty down here. You're not even sure what the creature is because you're only seeing parts of it. But the all the cavities and stuff the flies had been spawning in are being scorched, and millions of flies are being are being consumed in the flame. So yeah, it's an inferno down there. You guys take the next 10 minutes and just completely scorched earth the place.
And then spend an extra 10 minutes making sure we got it all.
And then I mean, there's still you've managed to destroy the spawning point of the flies.
Is that your flame strike on the one fly?
Oh no, I'm just showing off what my damage would be.
Oh, nice.
I got nothing.
Against one creature.
Yeah,
On one
I-
fly, yes.
I tried to hit the fly.
You insta kill that fly.
Hold on, this
fly up.
is my new special ability I can do.
Oh, nice. I wonder. Let's see if I press max. Yeah, 164 plus 30. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Oh wait, there's more damage on that because I wasn't raging. Hold on a second.
I feel like we have destroyed the source, but we still have
Oh.
so many flies that are now in people and larvae
Yeah.
in people. So yeah.
That's the problem I was thinking, especially since we got rid of the only source of magic. in this
No,
world.
actually, guys, she just figured out how to fix all this. I can just go one at a time, true polymorphing them all into fire elementals.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that'll work fine.
Let's just do it and then release it.
Yeah, no, that's true. And they'll burn any of
Oh, wait.
the stuff in them.
The people or the flies?
The people.
The people.
Oh, I thought you meant the flies themselves.
Yeah, the 16. No.
That's why I was confused.
No, I actually can't true polymorph. Oh no, I can't. Never mind, I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, because what I true polymorph them in has to be their CR or lower. And a fire elemental's CR is probably pretty high.
Yeah, especially compared to commanders. So how many
Yeah, it's 5.
villages do we think are infected? Because I know we have Robin's village plus the two we flow over plus the Keep village. Were there other surrounding villages that we suspect are infected?
Oh, and it's pretty much airborne when you think of it. Like flies will be flying about, and
Yeah.
they're in nature right now. So how do we draw the flies to a certain area or something?
Well, I think Elwin's right about flies only living 24 hours. Is that right, Midas, in this universe? I asked the wise druid.
Yes,
24 hours.
it's just accurate.
I'm googling this right now.
I think it's like, isn't it 48? They have a full
Fly life cycle.
28 days of a housefly.
Okay. Let's see. Is there? Do flies exert pheromones? Because if we can come up with a way to make a very potent fly pheromone, we can basically attract them all away.
You were thinking of
and
mayflies.
cure people.
Mayflies.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
We put them in the mansion, so the flies can't get in. While they're in the mansion, you guys cure them, then we scorch the town.
That doesn't seem like a good idea, because then the
Or
people
we
have
could-
to rebuild their town.
We could put them in the mansion and then take them somewhere else and tell them they can come back in a few days when all the flies are dead, or in a month.
But
or
again,
whatever.
remember, there's more than one village.
No, it'll take us a few days to save them all.
I
Well, I'm
am
also
sure we
thinking-
can come
I
up
mean,
with some medicine to help stop this.
I mean, one of you and me have a spell that will take care of this literally in an instant.
Yeah, that's true. But you have a spell that takes care of this in an instant?
Yeah, Meteor Swarm.
What spell?
I'm sure that we can
No.
find some
No.
kind of herb or something that we can feed to people to make them
Well, first of all,
expel
can we
the
get out
larvae.
of here?
What we
Can
need
we
is
get out of here,
what we
please?
what we need is clerics. Call the king.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was just about to think that.
Houseflies live for 28 days. The ones I was thinking are mayflies.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
established this.
Oh.
exactly.
Am I late to the party?
Oh,
But-
just a little bit.
We'll split the
Should we,
difference.
like,
We'll
raise-
split the difference. We'll call it
Should we
14 days
raise-
on this.
Yeah.
We'll split the
Anybody
Yeah,
else?
difference.
it's actually,
Anybody
15
else
days for
got
standard
teleport to
housefly.
get us out of here, so I don't have to waste another 7th level spell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Teleport us.
Oh yeah, you guys are in a
Alright.
burning inferno of like bile and flies, and it's
Is
like
the
it's like
corpse
is it-
is the corpse gone?
Elwood, can you get us out of here?
well, it's
please?
on fire.
Wait.
It's being
No,
scorched.
we're not leaving till the corpse is gone.
All right, it's
Can you-
just complete consumed.
Yeah, I keep fire breathing it over and over again
All right,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah. It takes you like you said like for like half an hour, but yeah, it's finally gone.
Elwood, can you get us out of here, please? I'm thinking what we should do is when we get back, Renly, can you go into wait? Moonsai said he'd never seen anything like this, had he?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, do you think if you were to go back into his form, knowing what you know now, you could maybe think of a herb that would help these people?
That is potentially there, but I'm not sure about it.
Okay, I think that's our first step. Because if it's just simple as coming up with a simple cure, instead of having cleric seal, I think that's our best option. So that way we don't have to waste resources doing that.
I feel like we should bring the king
Yeah.
back and cure him, and that way we have his backing as we're doing what we need to do.
The other
Because we
thing
might
is-
need to deal with like multiple towns.
True. But yeah, let's head back, go into Moon Scythe, and knowing what you know now, since you got that 20 on the Ask the Universe question.
Oh, I'm gonna roll a 4 this time. I know this.
Maybe you get an advantage because of your 20 on the Ask the Universe question. Or maybe you can enhance your ability or something.
I do guidance.
I can enhance
Anyways.
your ability.
We should, let's head back and let's just try that, because if it works, I know you're not confident, Renly, but if it works, that's so much simpler than trying to wrangle up a whole bunch of clerics who can cast 9th level spells.
You only need lesser restoration.
but yeah, you need lesser restoration. But if you wanna, but that's what you only have maximum of like 10 spell slots that way.
Yeah, but with at least
But
3
with-
villages, this is going to be something that'll probably take weeks to deal with. We don't have that time to sit around here dealing with it.
Exactly.
That's
So
why I'm
we
saying
need to.
Moonsight should. That's why I'm saying Moonsight should try to come up with an herb. Once Elwyn gets us out of here. Oh, he did. He ring
Yeah, he
teleported
did.
us.
Yeah,
Where
we're
did you
all-
teleport
we're
us to, Elwyn?
You didn't even notice we were in the throne room again.
Oh, perfect. Shall we just get the king back, cure him, and then, I'll transform into Moonsight and just try and see if I can figure something out with dealing with flies. Surely Moonsight has like dealt with an insect infestation. We all have at some point in our lives.
I'm
by the
thinking
way-
less of an insect infestation and more of just like a herb that'll cure these people.
By the way,
Like
those people,
basically spell larvae.
Yeah,
by the way,
yeah,
those
yeah, that.
people have already been pushed out of the mansion, so most, if not all of them, are probably all infected again.
I thought we
Again,
got
Deimos,
there.
Deimos can take
in
care of
evening.
the one village with one spell.
What if we just kind of like have villages, like normal fly things? Like, make fucking bonfires and throw like basil and lavender in there.
I don't think that'll work.
That's kind of how it always works to get rid of flies. And then we can heal them, and then more flies don't come in. Unless you
I am
if they
also
wouldn't
worried
come in.
about-
that
I'm
that
kind
is-
of worried
that is
about
true.
potentially the
still have
flies
the
going to the beasts. Or, like the beasts of the wildlife, basically. Like instead of finding human carriers, they find other creatures instead. And we definitely need to find a way to get rid of those things in any case.
Yeah.
Like I
Moonsight.
was saying, meteor storm.
I transform it to Moonsight and guidance, and then try and ask Moonsight.
What skill are you using? I'll cast skill empowerment on you.
Oh, wisdom.
Oh no, it's for a skill, not a stat.
Oh, I guess medicine. I don't
Medicine.
know. My
Medicine.
default put it medicine.
Yeah, so I will skill empower your medicine, which gives you. You have double your proficiency bonus
So
for
0.
1 hour.
Oh, okay. So 0. Okay.
Oh,
You have-
you're not trained.
I
in
don't
medicine?
have it. No.
Oh, then
Do
it
we
doesn't do
have enhanced ability?
Nope, I can't do that.
So that's a 20 with guidance.
I figured you already had it.
Can someone enhance ability her? Maybe.
Yeah.
I
no,
know,
got-
right?
I can enhance ability.
Oh, perfect.
Does that give you proficiency?
That gives you
No, it
No,
advantage.
just advantage.
Advantage, yeah. There you go. There's my 4 and 8. Well, 3 and 8.
And you rolled a 1 with your guidance.
I
Yeah,
guess the
so-
20's alright.
Oh, and she was right. The Magnificent Mansion would still be up. It wouldn't end until this evening.
Renly, it's possible. It's possible now that you know what it is to put together a concoction of herbs that would be fatal to the, or at least very, very repugnant to this, to the flies, this particular strain of fly.
Okay. I'm
Is it the
hoping
stench
that
or
maybe
is it the
just more than. Sorry, you were saying?
I was wondering if it's the stench or the actual ingestion of this.
Well, the
concoction.
actual concoction would kill the larva, and if burned, the smell and the aroma of it would be repugnant and would drive the flies away. It'd be like a natural pesticide.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay. And I'm just wondering, like, the other thing that I'm hoping for is something that might draw the flies to something so that it can then be killed, because I'm very much worried about, humans are off, hands off. Okay, let's go to the beasts and the wildlife, and then those get infected.
Moonsight has a thought that nothing draws flies like a big dead carcass.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. And I share this with everybody.
What do we do with Practinic's carcass?
I have it.
The whole
You
carcass?
have his form. You don't have his carcass. His carcass is still out there.
I
in
thought
the
I
field.
thought you said it disappeared.
No, no, no.
when
The
he
carcass.
died.
You took it. You took his. You were able to acquire his form. No, the carcass is still out there.
Oh.
I have a big, gigantic carcass that we could maybe enhance the smell of and try to attract all the flies to it.
This is true.
We-
So this is the next day. You
Mhm.
figure that within a couple days it will have rotted enough that it'll start to really be drawing like flies from all over.
Yeah, we could teleport it over here.
Nice. So, Renly, how rare are these herbs that you need, or do you have them with you to make a whole bunch?
It'll take you
'Cause
some
I'm
work.
gonna guess.
It'll take you some time to figure it out.
Yes, it
Probably
won't
a couple
be
days.
needed.
But
Yeah,
you'll be
because
But
I'm-
we have a work in progress here, so
Yeah.
I think we have a good starting point.
Okay. This is a good plan. So I'll say that over the next couple of days, you guys keep the population inside the magnificent mansions.
Could we just like mass heal, if like giving each person
Yeah.
like 1 point, and like we do that to the other villages too? So
Yeah.
like they're cured for now, and then they're back to being sick again.
Well, yeah, but you know, by gating them away from the magnificent mansions, you're able to keep the cured people from being exposed. And over the next couple of days, the carcass of Practinic rots enough that it begins to attract all these creatures, these flies from the surrounding area. And then in that time, Renly, you're able so the majority of the flies have begun to gather around Practinic's corpse. You wouldn't say it's all of them, but the vast majority of them. And Renly, you're able to come up finally. It takes you a couple days, but to come up with a good blend of herbs that you think will do the job.
Awesome. I totally foresight myself when doing this because Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna fast forward you guys 2 days later. This is the work that you guys. It's been a lot of work. You've had to go to the villages. You've had to round them all up, cure them. You know, set up the multiple magnificent mansions, that kind of stuff.
Oh, and did we get a page back about an oil of etherealness?
Yes. And the king sent it out to you via teleportation with from one of his mages.
Awesome.
As soon as I see Robin, I say, drink this, and then let Renly regenerate you, and your lips should be back to normal, my friend.
So he shifts into the ethereal realm as he drinks it.
How long does this last?
Through the application of the oil of etherealness, you're able to dissolve the sovereign glue into the ethereal realm. It's careful application on the affected areas, but it separates it from him enough that you believe you've removed the foreign substance from Robin's face.
And once Renly gets a free minute, I would ask her to please regenerate this fine gentleman again, and
Can I do it? Yes.
I'm crossing my fingers that he goes back to normal.
Okay, he begins the healing process. How are you guys dealing with the massive cloud of flies that are on Practinic's body?
Where'd we put the
Point
body?
to
Where'd
eight.
we put it?
It was where we left it, about a mile
like,
from the key.
Yeah, a mile outside the keep.
Okay. 9th level meteor storm.
I agree with him on this time for once.
Okay. All right.
Which will do how many spheres is it?
Yeah, it's a pretty spectacular blast of. It's a pretty spectacular blast of energy. There's
I'm assuming the
scorch
flies
the whole
just
area.
auto failed their saves.
Yeah. They're incinerated. They're completely
Totally scorched earth policy.
smithereened. Yeah, outside the keep. Okay. So
Oh wait,
2 days.
before I cast it, did you guys want his corpse for anything?
Nah, not particularly.
No,
Because
Maybe
I can
not,
I
so.
can save the corpse and kill all the flies.
No.
Ew,
No.
ew, ew, ew. No.
I mean,
No.
I already got a
He's
pound
the
of
one.
dragon
He's
meat
the
for-
only bad dragon. We want to keep the rest alive. So
chimichangas.
any other dragons we kill, keep the corpse. But this guy's fine.
Okay, his corpse goes by.
Wait, did you say
If
dragon?
the others are
dragon,
really
dragon
that
chimichangas?
Oh yeah. I took like a pound of his meat along with the other stuff just for the dragon chimichangas.
Okay.
'Cause I thought it was a really cool idea.
Damos, roll that. Deimos, I want to try these. Roll that survival check. I want to see how good
No,
these
no,
are.
no. We're taking this to the Chimichanga Pro. Like, these are gonna be the greatest things ever. Dragon Lord Chimichanga.
I don't know how well Alberic's gonna handle spicy foods because I assume a dragon chimichanga's got to be like ghost pepper level
Oh,
spicy.
it's gonna wreck our booty
Deimos
holes.
has a good chunk of dragon meat inside the bag of colding. Okay,
Along with the dead body.
along with Ashok's dead body.
Yeah, boy.
And
You know,
Deimos,
I was honestly expecting there to be some kind of plague monster down there.
yeah, me too.
I was a little worried.
Hey Deimos.
Hmm?
Do you took something off of Practinic for your armor as well, right?
Yeah, I got a nose bone and some scales.
Yeah.
Don't worry
I
about it.
just want to make sure, just in case all the other Dragon Kings are upset when
Oh,
they find out he's dead, and
I
in
would
case
be
we
like-
really need to resurrect him.
Yeah.
Oh, did
I
you
would've
want
been
his
like, it's
head?
not even... Yeah, I'm
So you
making
can
sure I'm
drag
at
it
least a
around
part
too?
of every Dragon Lord in case we have to somehow try to bring him back. But
Yeah.
You could drag his head around like that other dragon.
that head is way too big.
Well,
like-
I thought you were big and strong and could carry anything.
Yeah, I am big and strong and I carry anything
So
just
you're,
like I
are you
carried your
conceding
mom.
there's something? Are you conceding
Ooh.
there's something you can't do?
Yeah, I'm super
Oh.
confused on what you think.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
For
Oh,
all your
hey,
lust-
Deimos,
So-
can you pick up that
If I-
mountain? No, I can't pick
if
up
you
that
can't
mountain.
do
That'd be
something-
ridiculous.
Deimos,
Hey,
did
hey,
you want to resurrect the king? You know, so
I don't
so
care.
damn it.
I'm gonna call Jace down and be like, hey, Adis, you not smarter than Jace? That's crazy.
So as you
Deimos,
guys, so
would you
okay,
please try to res the
Two-
king?
2 days later, okay, you guys have been hard at work doing all this stuff, and this is actually kind of interesting because I wanted to see how you guys would handle a completely non-magical, pretty bad
Meteor
situation.
swarm.
Yeah, I was about to
It's-
say we had two approaches to this: meteor swarm or mass heal.
No, but you guys had to figure out where the disease was coming from and how you guys would proceed about doing it. So that's pretty cool. 2 days later, a completely healed Robin. You guys are there. Are just talking about resurrecting the king, and Robin walks in through a wall and says to you,
Of
"Bloody
course.
no! Don't resurrect that bastard."
That's what I said.
Wait, what?
Was he
Why?
crazy before the disease?
He was the reason that these people were in poverty to begin with.
Ah,
He says,
What if we take all of his money first, and we put sovereign glue on his face, and make him be a peasant?
stop it with the X-ray on.
he
on
pauses for a
Sovereign
second and says,
Glue, eh?
he says, "No, that I might be agreeable with."
Um,
I don't know. I'm just.
I'm
thinking
going to
about
ask
Robin.
him about the sheriff and ask him if that guy's a decent guy, if he knows.
The sheriff.
Yeah.
says,
Have you seen his face? It is very strange. Is he
Yeah.
actually a suit of armor
I've
that's
seen
walking
that
around
on
and
his face.
helping people?
Oh, I
Sheriff
went
and I-
back like the next day to see the face.
Yeah. Also, I'm stealing that guy's boot.
You see the sheriff's face. Sheriff's never takes his mask off. The Robin says, "The sheriff of Naughty and I have had many run-ins. Our combat has been famous, but I've never managed to completely best the wily old bastard." He looks at you all. He says, "But the last time I saw him was well before the dragon attack."
Oh, he's still running the place around about here. He just seems kind of suspicious to us.
I bet you
Interesting.
it's because it's a trick.
Interesting.
Like
I do have.
he did not say a single word. He would not raise his visor. I just I was
Perhaps he had
curious
become
about
hideously disfigured or scarred. That would be. He would be deserving of that. He always was a vain prick.
So we should kill him?
Why
No.
is your answer death or murder, hobo?
He says,
You
Tell me.
guys wanted to rip his head off yesterday.
No,
We're
no,
trying to rip the
no.
helmet off.
Helmet!
Yeah, helmet and head is completely different, sir.
I don't know what they talk about in hell, but like taking the hat off.
Telekinesis plus helmet.
Yeah, I would do that. I would
Head
off
telekinesis.
picture, actually.
Just the visor.
Head, helmet, same thing.
He says to you, I assume that you came here seeking me out for a reason,
Yeah, we
and
need
I am
your help.
grateful that you did
Yes.
save this village. I do have something to tell you first, though.
Alright, what we got?
Says, I am not returning any of the things I stole from Feldorn.
Oh,
Don't even
I
ask.
thought it was funny.
Fuck
Fair
that
enough.
guy, dude.
Very
Feldon,
good.
unfortunately,
So
is
when he
in no
comes back as
condition
like
to use them.
as a wear something spectacular, we're all gonna be.
Then what do you
super
want
jelly.
from the spectacular Robin?
We need
We
you to
need,
walk through a wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ah, a wall. A wall that needs passing through, I assume. Very well.
It does not lead to the end of the world or a portal from another, hell dimension that
No,
will
it's just a
mean the
cool
end of all of
wall.
us.
Yes,
No,
yes,
fine.
of course. That's what
Yeah,
they all
it's
say when they
normal
seek
stuff.
out Robin.
Similar to one of the wall you walk through in Mistrala.
Tell you what. I'll help you. But for a price.
Yeah, what's the
They will
price?
pay you whatever you want. They already
Should
told me
we
to
have
do
not
that.
given him the oil before this time? I feel like we
Probably.
need to get better bargaining.
He says, he says, he says, Renly, look at me. I can have whatever I want whenever I want it. You know this. There's no wall, there's no bank, no vault that could keep anything from my grasp. But there's one thing that I have failed to steal in all of my years.
Euphemia's heart!
Oh, trust me, she's single. Trust me on this one. I'll hook you up with Euphemia real fast.
He says,
She's all
no,
about
no.
you. Oh,
No,
oh,
you
dang it.
keep that dark bitch away from me.
Whoa, 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 she's not that bad.
Well,
Sometimes rough around the edges.
Deimos.
Did you hear what she said to me after Feldorn?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just forget it. She
wait,
was
what
No.
did she say?
mad.
I saw the love of my life in the city, in the keep.
It's the
of
sheriff,
Nata,
isn't it?
is the maiden Marian, niece of the king.
Where are the merry men?
Oh my goodness, who would have guessed? Okay. We're gonna get you this broad, okay?
There's nobody alive
And
in
if
the
she
keep.
doesn't like you, you gotta fuck yourself. But,
Wait, is she dead?
Steal
who's
her
not
heart
dead?
from me,
No.
and
that's
not by
still
stealing.
no.
No, you stupid.
I can
I
give
want
you
to.
her
I
heart.
want
I
to
can give
win
you
her
her heart
love.
right now.
I want to win her love.
Oh,
That's on you, dude.
Have you ever
Yes.
met her, or have you been stalking her?
actually,
Man up
yeah.
and go tell her how you feel. Stop
Yeah,
being a
bro.
pussy.
Whoa,
It's
whoa,
more
we don't
complicated
use
than
words
that.
like that.
It's never
Does
more
she know
complicated.
your
The king
name?
has always forbidden us, and she's.
The king is
Well,
dead.
he's dead.
I
Long
actually
live
pointed
King
the crown.
Robin.
I think that Aegis, I think he took his crown, and I want to pretend it's on his head.
Like,
Help
he's the
me.
king now.
Help me win her heart.
I did take the crown.
Help me win her heart.
I'll toss it to Robin.
Oh, very good.
By the power invested in me by the gods above, as I shape change into an angel, I crown you king.
Of Notting. I'm going to say Nottingham.
By the power invested in me by the gods, I crown you king.
If Marion and I end up together, I will help you breach any portal, knock down any wall, pass through any barrier between here and Mount Celestia itself.
Well, I just hope you don't see her among the bodies here, because then we've got a slight problem.
It'd be super inconvenient.
But wait,
Yeah.
Robin, do you want us to tell her that the fate of the world rests in your hands, and you refuse to help because you want to?
Yeah, this is pretty
Um,
shitty.
Well,
I'm very good
does
at
that mean-
stealing things and finding people who needed help. I've
Does that mean we're gonna have to
been
kill the
quite
sheriff?
good with the ladies.
Really?
See, this might be one of the reasons why. You know,
Carbs and wine. Oh, have you not got?
I came with a pamphlet. It just says carbs and wine.
Well, you tell me, Renly. You're the female persuasion. Why do my dashing good looks not get me in with the women? Shouldn't they do so?
the dashing looks don't really matter much. I'll be honest here.
Cause you ain't got no.
They mean
I will-
squats to half the people.
This is why I need your aid.
Yes, but have you ever talked to her in the first place? I mean, we can't just go up to her and be like, "Hey, what do you think of Robin?" And she's like, "Who?"
I
Jeez,
may or
I've
may
been in
not
hell.
have stolen myself into her room once or twice just to
So
catch a
you're a
glimpse,
pervert.
but
Oh, Deimos
Have you
doesn't
met
know
a
what to think
fellow
about
called
this one.
Edward Cullen?
I was like about to high five him when he said that, but everybody went, ugh. I'm like, I just like pretended to yawn.
I spent two,
That's totally something Ellen would have done.
I spent 200 years in hell, and I feel like I know more about women than this dude.
Like, okay, guy, rule number 1: you can't peep on the ladies, okay? If you do that, it means a long dick of the law is gonna come
but
out.
what's it to never find out?
They never find
Worse,
out.
because someday they might.
Guys aside, and I say to him, Robin, have you actually tried to approach her and talk to her?
Well, you see, no.
All right, I'm actually just gonna give
I'd
him a
say
chance.
do that first. If that doesn't work, then come back to us.
No. What we need to do is sending stone. Put the sending stone in your here, okay, and then we will coach you as you talk to her because this will go very bad if you're yourself.
No, I think he's got it.
That
I
sounds
think
like a
he's got it by
splendid
himself.
idea.
What if some of us are like, stereotypical bad guys and he stops us? And, like,
I just say I'll do that, Renly, but I'm the one behind the mic, you and me. We'll leave Deimos out of this.
That's fine.
Deimos
What
is
if
the
we
only
true
one who gets
polymorph
all the
Deimos
ladies.
into Robin and have him go talk to her?
Midas.
Turn
Yes.
me
Deimos
into
is
that.
the
like-
best
Wait.
negotiator.
Adis,
That's like Plan
I
D.
didn't think I'd ever say this before. Turn
I'm
me
looking
back
for something.
into a chick. I'll play this guy up.
I true polymorph him into a female elf.
No, I can't do that. I can
Okay,
also
a
polymorph
barbarian female.
a-
A barbarian
into
female.
a
Goliath female.
broger read. I don't even know what it is. I got my one picture, and that's the only thing I turn into.
Wait, Robin, do you have any former beaux, like former lady loves? Do you have a black book with old phone numbers?
Look at you, Renly. He says, in order to count one as having been a former love, I would have had to have been successfully in a relationship with such a female, right?
Or at least like
not just
spent a
sneaking
night
into the room.
over, and
Well, you
like
see, there's a problem
had a
there.
few conversations.
They would have actually had to acknowledge that you existed.
Does a slap in the face count as acknowledging one's existence?
Hell yeah.
Close enough.
You got it.
Robin, have you spent the night with the woman yet?
Whoa. Renly, not everyone's as talented as you, okay? Don't throw
That's-
the rest of us under the bus.
Does this include or not include the relationships that where gold is exchanged?
Okay, good. At least this is not. I know where we're starting from now. Okay, good. No, if the gold was exchanged, then that, yes, I was including that. So perfect. Good.
Ha! I have a grand list.
Good. Okay, actually, give me that list. I will go and see the women of the world. Oh God. I am literally going to red districts. I am going to the red districts. Oh my God. I am getting feedback.
Send him in. We'll give
Midas.
Deimos a fake rock and tell him it's the sending stone that's connected to. No, we'll give him the one that's connected to
Wait,
the king.
isn't Deimos technically smarter than you? Why are you trying to trick Deimos?
Alright, Adis, what?
Midas. I am going to use my scroll to empower a suggestion to have a DC of 36 and cast it on him.
Okay.
On
what's the
who?
suggestion?
The suggestion is that he immediately go tell her how he feels. And if he fails, he's compelled to do it immediately to the best of his ability.
He says, right. I should go tell her how I feel then.
With the crown.
He says,
Oh God.
he says, says, I stole the real crown years ago. I replaced it with a piece of colored iron.
Oh, wow. I cast Windwalk on him, so he's fast as a motherfucker. Go.
I would have
Alright.
given a different suggestion personally. I would have said,
He starts walking towards, towards the keep.
flirt with her, because the girl's never actually met the poor dude. So if a random guy walks up to you and
Are you guys following him or what? He's
Oh,
starting to walk
totally.
towards the keep.
Totally
Totally,
following
yeah,
him.
yeah,
I am a wind elemental, but I am following.
Owen, you wanna like pretend you're my man, buddy? We can totally hook this guy up. Cause chicks always
Dude,
dig
I'm-
dudes who like.
You're a
chicks
female.
back up.
You're no longer a female barbarian, by the way.
What? Oh shit! I look the same regardless. I just slightly longer hair.
I have to, I have to cut.
I was already hugging you from behind, like with the
Don't
the
stop,
Titanic scene.
All right, so you guys make your way to the keep and towards the castle of Nota. As you guys approach, Robin, you guys demystiform, and Robin starts walking up towards the city gates, and the same guard is there. He says, hold where you're fucking going. He says, I know you. He says, you're Robin, the infamous thief. There's quite a big bounty on your head. You've got the ghoul standing here in front of me now.
Wait, is this Miriam?
No, this
Rob-
is the guard.
Robin says, I demand to see my Lady Marian.
Again, this is a bad idea because the girl doesn't even know the guy exists.
The guard says, like, who? And why the fuck would she want to see you? Robin pauses for a second. He looks at you all. He says, how do you make your way through?
I
Belligerent
speak to
guards
him
without-
elementally. How do you normally go and see her overnight? Like, what is your normal tactic? Don't you walk through walls? I see elementally.
Well, yes, but I've never done this before. Yes, I would walk through walls and go into her living quarters.
Just go to her doorway, not through to the living quarters, just to the door.
He said,
Go to the door and knock.
He stands. He says to the guard. He says,
I say to him actually first. I say maybe you should show the crown and see if that gets you in.
Okay. He says, okay. He pulls out the crown.
but-
Yeah.
By the way, Sir Guard, this gentleman right here, despite your rudeness, he has been divinely ordained the new king of this territory. So please show him that due respect.
He looks at you all. He says, right. And I've got a wiener that hangs down to the floor.
I can pull it.
High five.
Do you want that to happen? Like 12 gold pieces. Rip that shit off, put it straight on the floor.
That's a lot of money for a guard.
It's worth it, trust me.
Divine ordination, my ass. Yes. You take a walk before I throw you in chains.
But you can't.
He's talking to
That's the
Robin.
problem.
He said, I'm talking to him. The rest of you all whatnot. You're
Chill.
cool.
Just let him go through, okay?
The sheriff puts you on the good list.
Are we gonna?
Yeah.
Are we gonna
Wait,
need to pull a Romeo and Juliet window scene here? I whisper to Wenley. We're playing matchmaker
Well,
right now.
you know what
Wenley.
we could do is we could open a mansion and just bring her to it.
Robin, leave and walk through a wall where they don't see you. I say elementally, and you see the wind kind of move in a direction
Yes,
away.
Yeah, okay. Is it very well? I will.
Can we take responsibility for
Can
this
you
guy?
bring
'Cause
us with
we're
us?
on the
Just
sheriff
us two,
doing
not the
this.
rest of them. Just us two.
So I can take whoever I want. He said-
Bring me and
so
Renly.
You guys start walking away, and you guys circle around
Leave
to
the
the other
other
side of the
side.
keep.
I say to the two of them, do not let him be harmed before he delivers his message.
Obviously.
This is Robin. He doesn't get harmed unless it's Feldor.
Yep.
Yeah, this is different.
He opens up a passageway through the wall. He just grabs it, and like the thing just splits in half and opens like a door.
Ooh.
He says, very well. Let's enter.
I follow
And
him.
follow.
So you guys walk in, and you guys see the beginnings of the city being rebuilt. Again, the city was was thrown into chaos, like with looters and thieves, and but now that people are beginning to recover and be healthy, order is starting to be reinstalled. The sheriff has gone through great lengths to make sure that that offenders are punished pretty harshly, that that innocent people are protected and vulnerable people are protected, that kind of stuff.
Hey, Midas, I got a quick 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
So is Robin pretty famous in these parts then? Is he
He's
well
infamous. He's so famous
There
that he's
is a
infamous.
bounty on him.
He's probably a big panty thief.
known? That too.
He's famous in the wrong way.
But
I do have
is
rather
he
large
Robin,
collection.
The
is
way
he
the face bombs.
stealing from the rich and giving to the poor?
Oh yeah.
And does Marion know he exists, or have they met, or is he just swooning over a girl that has no idea that he exists? Besides through,
Edward Collins
the
her.
She knows who I am, and we did have one encounter once where, for the
She's
briefest of
lucky.
moments, we made eye contact, and then I fled. But-
I pull Renly aside and I say, wait here for a second, Robin. I'm formulating an idea and I'm going to discuss with Renly real quick.
Very good.
So, I am straight up stealing this from the movie and the Disney animated film. Let's just go with that, and saying we should, maybe say that Robin, tell Mary, because we're welcome in the castle, we can get to know Marion, and then, try to, talk about Robin in her presence, and what a great guy he is, and then when she looks interested, we bring up his interest in her, and then at some point in time, there definitely needs to be an archery contest for the Lady Marion's hand, because there's no other way this is going to go, because this is the movie.
Are we playing a dating game here, or are we trying to save the whole fucking world because dragons?
This is D&D. This is a D&D dating sim. Get on board.
I mean, we're still waiting for
I agree
Biffin.
with that as a plan B, but the plan A would be excellently devised for him to just get his name out there and say, I love you, and she goes, who the fuck are you? And then we go from there.
Well, plan D is I turn into a gargantuan dragon and just tell them that he's the new king, and if they don't like it, I can burn their city to the ground.
And then the city's burned.
That's why
And
we
what
left
do
you
do?
behind.
So Robin comes back. He says, "Are you
Remember,
quite
we're
done
waiting
yet?
for Biffin.
I've been strongly suggested to go tell her how I feel about her, and I intend to do so."
We will follow.
Okay. Yes. I still think we should talk to her first before he talks to her.
He says,
I feel
Well,
like
this
he
way.
suggested and will still talk before us because
Because I was-
suggestions
Well,
fell.
if we tell him to wait outside and then we'll bring him to her, that'll be in line with his suggestion. So
Just let him do his
Yeah.
thing.
Yes,
He
the
leads you
suggestion
guys-
will just make him go.
he leads you guys to the castle, and says, and up the castle on the second story, or maybe third story. There's an overhang, what's it called, a balcony. He says, "This is the balcony to her chambers." He says, normally, I would just pass through the wall and go upstairs, and hide myself. But, as per my suggestion, I've been told that it is wise to just confess my love for her.
Confess to her in song. Are you okay at singing, actually, or are you talking back?
I'm actually quite the minstrel.
Okay. And I will transform back into Renly, and I'm going to do my whole, comfort spell for the background music to set the mood. And
So
I tell him,
you guys
"Go!"
see this link? You see this link that I linked? You know this scene?
yes.
And your soul
I am clicking it in somewhat.
B flat.
The night is young one, and you're so beautiful here among
This is one of the best movies in the world.
Why?
Was it the Robin
Oh,
Van
there's
Dyke
one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's such a good movie.
Open your heart. The scene is set, the breezes sing of it. Can't you get
All right, so he goes up to the balcony and he starts bursting out into song. And over the next minute or so, he's just singing. There's nothing up on the balcony. There's no reaction or movement up on the balcony. And then as he's nearing the end of his song, you guys notice that there are a ring of guards that have come
Holy
around
shit.
and are standing around you now. Right? It is. Oi! What the fuck do you think you're doing? And Robin says, well, I'm confessing my love to the Lady Marian.
Is she out of town at the moment?
The guard
She's
says,
totally dead, by the way.
the guard says, well, then what the fuck are you doing outside the sheriff's living quarters?
The sheriff is Lady Marian!
I told you it was a chick.
So up on the balcony, the sheriff comes walking out. Right? Puts her hand to her mask and pulls off her mask. Looks down at him with tired eyes, and you can tell a lot of stress has been on her in the years, and over the last year. And she says, Robin. Just, what the devil are you doing here?
The fool's been in love with you for so long!
She says, I know that. Sneaking his way into my quarters. Does he think me a fool?
Yes, he's terrible. But still in love with you.
And he has his good days.
He is a blithering idiot. I am here trying to keep my uncle's city from falling into complete ruin. And he's just here bursting out into stupidity and song?
Because he doesn't know what to do to win your affection. If all you need is help or somebody nearby to help you get things in order, that would be easier for him to do. He's rather terrible at this. He's never had a girlfriend.
Then why the hell should I even give him the time of day?
Because love is a crazy and strange thing, and you should never dismiss it when it comes along.
Like, give it a chance. If it doesn't work, that's fine. But get to know him and see if he has some potential. I mean, look at that face. Okay, actually, don't look at that face.
She says...
Face is pretty good looking.
She says... Robin, do you have any... My interest and my heart are for this city. What would you offer? What could you give in any kind of aid to get into my good graces to help this city flourish and recover?
Oh, which was the village that he's actually from? The village that he is basically,
It's
like an
called-
official friend.
The village of Loxlie stands in his stead. He has done many things for them, and perhaps they can share with you what he has done for them, and he could do the same for this place here.
And then I motion towards. I elbow him in the knee to continue.
He says, "It is very true, Marianne." He says, "I could rally the population, the villagers, the peasants in the area to support your cause. You know that over the years there's been nothing but strife and hardship and enmity between nobles and serfs. But I envision a day where we are all working together, where they are no longer downtrodden, and there's no more fighting. Treat them better, or at least be willing to talk to them, and I will gain you their ear. They would love one such as you, as I do." And Marion looks at him for a second and says, "So a concept like this, my uncle would have spat upon. But I think it is worth discussing. Come," she says. "I would like to hear more of your thoughts. And the lunch hour is nigh. Perhaps we should talk about it a bit more." Robin turns to you, and she walks back off her balcony back into her living quarters. Robin turns to you, a big goofy grin across his face. He says, "Well, I would call that a good development."
And the spell fades. And he instantly realizes what he's done.
He gasps. He goes,
"What happened?"
"Bloody hell!"
Well, it worked.
I
says-
give him a sending stone and tell him we'll call on him when the time is needed.
He says, but, and now I have to go talk to her and can you at least tell me what to say?"
Whatever
Ask her.
comes into your heart.
Well, no, actually, ask her what she'd like.
"Okay." He breathes and he says, "I'll do it. I'll do it for my town. I'll do it. And he looks at you all. He says, "Thank you. Thank you for your aid. Thank you for saving the people that I care about. I'll hold on to this stone. Let me know when you have need of me." And with
Robin,
that, yes,
you've
he
done a
turns
good
back to you.
job with Loxley, and this is a step in the right direction. And it's obvious that Maid Marian, she loves the people. Focus on the people, and you will win her love. Think of them as the people of Loxley."
He nods. He's trying to grasp. You can see in his eyes he's trying to grasp the concept. Yes. Understood. Thank you, Renly. Albrecht.
I nod.
And he reaches over and touches the wall at the base of the keep, and it opens up, and he steps through it. Okay.
And I'm gonna buy me a metal plate to wear on my back.
And that is where we call it for tonight.
That went a
Long
lot.
session.
That went a
Yeah.
lot better than I expected it to.
That was
Well,
awesome.
cool, guys.
So awesome.
Cool, guys.
Well, I figured if we tried to go talk to her and shit, it was just gonna be a long, convoluted.
It was totally
review.
going there. Yes.
Yeah, we don't know her. She don't know us. Better if he just goes and be's a man.
I was just thinking we take our time with it because we've got until Befinzer gets back.
When her uncle went mad, she was just like a maiden, but she took and the sheriff had died in the attack. She took on the role of sheriff and started instituting order. She was the only thing that was keeping the town together.
Oh,
So-
Good for her.
Damos, you owe me 100 gold
For what?
because I told you it was a girl.
I said it was a girl.
So technically, she's the ruler of the realm, and Robin is just the pleb. Okay, good.
No,
Good thing
Yeah.
he has the crown.
Robin is the king. It has been ordained by the heavens.
I'm sure you don't count.
He
All
doesn't
right.
know that.
But that was awesome, Midas. Seriously, I was like,
Cool.
ah!
That was a lot of
All
fun.
right. Cool. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll catch you next week.
Indeed. See ya, see
All
ya.
right.
Indeed.
Thank you. Have a good one. Take care.
You too.
Night, night.